But not as bad. It's not as bad as you throw. I guess with a 24.
3, 2, 1, 0, 0.
You're listening to the Knives Templars.
Get ready, y'all. We about to Bobby Boucher you. Bam!
I got a piece off of the wagon that Sam Houston used to take JFK to the moon.
Pinto sauce. I like that. Pinto sauce.
Pinto sauce. You're tuned in to the Knives Templars podcast, featuring Odysseer Special Sauce Pinto.
I was a mean kid.
Long time listener, first time caller.
Eric T.R.E. Rivers.
Holy crap, I built something.
Don the Train Watson.
I can pay off all my credit cards and beef jerky credit line at Buc-ee's.
Joey the Riot Terrier.
Cochon de lait will make you smack your lips. Is anyone getting too close to your plate?
Mark Vasallo.
You drinking my soupy?
And Chip Shegman Carlisle. And now broadcasting alive, it's the Knives Templars. Coming to you live from Porkhouse Studios located in Hartselle, Alabama and other U.S. locations. This is the Knives Templars podcast. We are the coolest knife-making podcast on the planet, and we are downloaded around this big blue marble in over 24 countries. We are on air, on demand, and heard worldwide in all of your favorite apps and at knivestemplars.com. My goodness, boys. My goodness. The fact that you guys can now hear this lead in live rather than just me sticking it in later, now you're all wanting to change what you're saying. Otis here says, I wasn't a mean kid. And Joey's like, I want to say I ground off my knuckles. And Mark's like, it just says I drinking my soup. What the heck? And Don's like, I like mine. So Don's more like, I like mine a lot. But
I like
yeah.
Don's old one. Never slap a match chewing tobacco.
Well, we can bring that one back. But hey, are you guys ready for something?
We're ready.
Go ahead.
Ready?
Here we go. Here we go. Welcome to Season 5, Episode 41 of the Knives Templars podcast. You can find us on knivestemplars.com. But here we are at Season 5, guys. You know, we've done 41 of these. We record every 2 weeks, and that's a lot of effort. So if you take about 2 hours times 40, because the first one's just a lead-in, we got like 80 hours of listening out there. Almost
Nice.
like a half a week of listening. So come February, we will be on the air. Is it 2 or 3 years? 2 years. 2 years. 2 years. Yeah. So it's we've been on so long. My mind's starting to go, and I don't know how long we've been here, but I will tell you, about every 10 episodes we start a new season, and it's exciting. Guys, I'm Chip Carlisle, and I'm your host of the Knives Templars, and I just want you all to know that we are the best making podcast, and we're not heard in 34 countries. We're up to a grand total of 37 now, which excites Mark Vasallo.
It does.
And we've been
Amen.
heard thousands and thousands of downloads, and we're here to help you. We're here to help you. We've got some experts, we've got some enthusiasts, we've got just guys that just love making knives in this panel of people. I would like to think we are the normal View broadcasting. Don't want to talk about those ladies on the View, but we are the View of knife making, and we make it fun. Sometimes Odysseer can get a little bent. As a matter of fact, I think we've got some crapping or eating nails and crapping barbed wire with Odysseer Pinto tonight. And he may have to write some apology letters on social media afterwards, but we'll get there. But we're here also to help you experts, enthusiasts, and collectors out there learn more about the world of knife making while having fun. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Good night,
Well done.
guys. Good morning. Good night. Good morning. Hello, guys. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good.
What's
We're
up?
doing great.
Don, what's going on in Florida?
Oh man, cooler weather's come in. A little cooler. Not as humidity's not been too bad, but been pretty nice. Real nice.
Yeah.
A little rain.
What,
Yep.
what you drinking tonight?
Uh,
Listeners want to
Creole
know.
brew cacao. Cacao is my normal drink here, bud.
I
I
gotta
tell
get me
you,
some of that cacao and try it out. I mean, I
You
never
got
had
to,
it.
man.
Cow.
Cacao.
are you going to survive during the zombie apocalypse once all the cow runs out? I know you don't like me saying cow, but now that you pointed out that I didn't say it
Is
right,
it cow or cacao?
It's
Cacao.
cacao.
It's like the bird.
That sounds like a Cajun word. Cacao.
Cacao.
so like I said, when all the cow runs out, are you going to be able to make it, brother?
I believe I can. I believe
All
I'll
right.
be able to make it. Yeah.
What was for dinner tonight?
Man, stuffed peppers.
Ooh, I like
It's,
stuffed peppers.
it's a
Talking
little
my
bit different.
language.
It's
Talking
good.
my language, Don.
Stuffed bell pepper or habaneros?
Bell pepper, the yellow bell peppers. With
Ooh, the sweet ones.
yeah, they're sweet and
With some
well,
rice and some meat and some spices and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
yeah, it
I
was
don't
good.
like those.
It was good. No,
I
no rice, no rice. We don't. Mom
uh,
don't put she puts ground up turkey and spices and all kind of stuff in it.
Yeah,
It's really nice.
them bell peppers smells like sweaty toes. I don't like them.
Sweaty toes.
Last episode you were saying, guys, you got to eat the fish eyes, and there's so much to the fish
Yeah,
brains.
I think we're
but no bell peppers.
Yeah, no
No
bell
bell pepper. Listen, man, I
Yeah.
am a
Bell peppers
carnivore
and sweaty
through and through.
toes.
I
That's
stay away from most veggies. Okay, so.
Yeah.
Well, my habaneros are turning yellow right now, and I'm digging it because my habaneros will put you on the floor, gulping water and milk and everything, and they're about to come in. I try to cook with them a little bit here or there. You just can't eat them by themselves. So,
Yeah.
VMAX, let me guess. What did you eat? You had a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
You know, I had Chick-fil-A twice this week. So, but that is not tonight. So tonight was actually I got home from work and I had a bowl of cereal. That was it.
What type of cereal did you eat? We want to know.
I had plain Cheerios.
Oh man.
oh,
Did you throw
I
any
used to
sugar
eat
on?
that.
You throw any sugar on top?
You know, I used to love the sugar on there, and then no sugar. Just I'm straight up plain Cheerio.
I'm old school.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
The kids of these days don't know what eating cereal was when we were kids. I mean, it was like eating cardboard.
Oh man,
That's
I
right.
grew up.
Well, the real stuff, huh?
Oh, Joey, you probably ate Count Chocula, didn't you?
No, no. I eat as a kid. I ate Kicks.
Oh, yeah, I
that
remember
was
Kix.
that was one of those mildly sweet, and so your mother was looking
Yeah.
out for your health as well. So
Captain Crunch. That's what I had.
Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
I love me some
Yeah.
cornflakes or Apple Jacks when I was a kid.
Or raisin bran.
Right now,
Right.
now I eat Honey Bunches of Oats. So,
My wife buys those. I can eat a whole box of those, but the raisin bran I have to be careful because if I eat too much raisin bran, ooh baby,
It'll work you
ooh,
down.
baby.
It'll work you down. Oh yeah.
a lot of
It'll put you on the throne.
it'll
It'll roll up on you.
that fiber kicks in.
It does. About 6 hours later, you got to be somewhere. With that cereal, what kind of beer are you drinking tonight?
So yeah, it's a change in everything. I had cereal for dinner, so nothing like that, and then I'm actually having some wine for tonight.
Ooh,
Yeah, so
Wow.
I thought I saw a little red
Yeah.
ass
a
floating
little
around.
vino. Yeah, it's
Good to see-
you know, I had a box of Merlot that was there that's been sitting for a while, so I figured
a whole
I'd
box.
break that up. You know, it's like the same price as a bottle, right? But it's like 4 bottles worth. So
So
how
are
could
you
go
getting
wrong?
are you getting all bourgeois or did you turn in your man card? Which is it?
No.
Bougie.
Hey, I'm good. I'm good.
Bourgeois.
I figure I have the beard, and so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, you were in the Air Force, so that was kind of like the country club of the military. So I'm sure you guys drank a lot of wine.
Yeah, we drank the wine. We listened to the Army guys giving the wine.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Sorry, Otis. Sir.
At least it
Nah,
ain't
man.
Boone's Farm. You're not
That's
drinking
right. No.
Boone's
That when I was young, it was Boone. I've tried some Boone's
Yeah.
Farm.
Or like
But
some
no,
Morgan David or something.
Yeah, Morgan Day. Yeah.
Morgan David.
Mr. Terrio, where do we find you in the world tonight?
I'm in Opelousas, Louisiana.
In your nice, fairly new home. And
Yep.
let's see, your wife. I was in the South this week, and I ate some. Did I say this right? Boudin,
Boudin.
whatever. Boudin. Is there an N on the
Not
end?
Buddha, man.
Boudin. Boudin.
Boudin. Okay.
You grab boo with Dan, and then you put them together.
You need to go back to Brazil now. Don't get in this.
Boudin.
You're
And
too
then,
far. Yeah.
Did you have some cracklings?
No, but I do eat cracklings. I'm not
So
ashamed to say that. Yeah.
if someone asks you, if they ask you if you want some gratons, that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, I say con delay. Give me y'all damn cracklings, man. That's kind of like what's his.
Did the
that's
girl
kind of like
behind the counter do like this? Like what?
no. She was like, I was like, my name Boomhauer. I'm Boomhauer. So no, but I did enjoy it down there. And actually, when I was down there, I ate some good steaks. I'll tell you all about that later.
Where'd you go?
I went to Laurel, Mississippi, but I'll be driving through your great state next week. I'll be heading through Monroe, Louisiana,
Okay.
and then I'll head on over to Tyler, Texas, and drop down into Palestine, Texas.
We just over here in the deep South, we just consider Monroe a suburb of like Dallas or something. So
That's
it's not
okay.
really part.
But it's the shortest distance between 2 points for me to get there. So I'm going to take Highway 20 all the way across to Texas. What are you drinking tonight, Joey? Must be a Pabst Blue Ribbon. I used to work at the carnival guessing weight and age.
No,
So-
I for supper we had some jalapeno cheese hot dogs with chili.
Jalapeno.
Those are good.
What's the
Nice.
jalapeno?
Some jalapeno.
Okay.
Jalapenos.
Jolly Pete.
And I'm drinking tonight. I'm drinking just some Gold Peak lemonade tea. That's it.
All right.
Very good. Very good. So far, we're all way too sober to be here. Let's try because you know that wine you're drinking, you're just a sipper, Mark, so it doesn't count. Doesn't count. You got a beard. You're drinking wine. You're going to be in a dress next episode.
Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah.
Otis here. Bring us on home. I see Eric in the background here, but Otis here. At least save us. What do you got here, Otis here? Please don't tell me it's a buzzball.
Oh yeah.
I think I saw a Corona bottle.
Yeah. Well, I got a Corona, but I had a buzzball earlier today. A little what you call it, pina colada buzzball.
Oh.
You know what those things are? Those are like those $1 drink with the little
Lollipop
plastic
inside, huh?
the little plastic things back in the cheap soda section that moms buy for their kids. There's little milk jug looking plastic, little 1 pint little containers with the aluminum top that you peel off, and it tastes like cough syrup without the alcohol. That's what those buzzballs
that's
are.
for me
little
a
barrels.
cheap pinto, you know.
Well, what'd you eat for dinner? Let me guess. You had venison.
No, I had some 10 chicken wings. That's it.
Oh,
Tan chicken wings, you say?
Yes.
How do you tan them? Like in a
Well,
broiler? Or?
Yeah, broil it.
So when you tan them, do they have tan lines when you pull them apart? Or
Oh yes, absolutely. It's amazing.
so how many tan chicken wings did you eat?
10.
Oh, you ate 10 tan chicken wings.
Yes, absolutely
Ah.
delicious.
Did you dip them in any sauce or?
No, just kosher salt.
Nice. Yeah, I
10
do that. Salt, pepper.
Yep.
So do you think that 10 tan chicken wings are the better tasting than 11 tan chicken wings?
I think 11 would have been better, but 10 did all right. Just,
Did you eat the
know,
flats
hit
or
the spot.
the little drumsticks?
Both of them, the whole wing.
Man.
Yeah.
Well,
So
there's
you're
some
saying you
chicken.
had 10 whole
Man.
wings?
Yeah, that's
That's what I'm talking about now.
Yeah,
Did you
but
eat
like I
anything
said, I
other
am
than
a
that?
carnivore through and through. I guess Mr. Rivers and I are on the same page when
Oh,
it
I'm on
comes
that
to
page,
meat
too.
consumption.
Yeah,
Did you eat them birds all the way up to the armpit? That's what we really want to know.
Yes.
Of course.
Very good. Very
The
good.
only
Here
thing
we
that got away
anything.
was the little.
Little chirp.
Well, Otis Sears had a buzzball. He's going to be fun. You're good to go. You're the special host tonight, Otis Sears. Eric
yeah.
Rivers was flying down the road through Waco, Texas to get here, or probably further because he's been known to travel halfway across America.
I got a question for Eric.
Well, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Eric had leftover.
All right.
I don't know how that happened, but hey, there's your drum roll, Eric. You ate leftover pizza, didn't you?
No. Quesadillas. That
Oh,
quesadilla.
I saw
Oh,
you putting
quesadillas.
something flat in your mouth there, so it was a quesadilla. And who made these
Oh,
quesadillas?
Taco Bell.
Were those
Taco
Taco Bell?
Bell.
North of the border.
You got to go to a specific one in this town in order for them to do everything right.
Yeah. Are you eating?
Okay.
Are you drinking the jacked up whatever Mountain Dew they've got?
Yeah.
No, so I do about 75% of that starry drink with I guess is the new Sierra Mist, and then pink lemonade for the rest of it.
Oh.
Nice.
And
So you're
it's
drinking
like,
a mixed drink tonight.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I did come in from out of town to this
My goodness, where
on a
were you
winter trailer.
today? Where
Amarillo.
were you today? Amarillo by.
Morning.
Yep.
Why is Joey pink?
Joey's pink.
He is
Well,
pink.
good for Joey. Hey, so the listeners can't see that Joey's pink, but Joey's pink for Awareness Month. So very good. Just a little late, Joey, but we're glad you're
Yeah.
supporting. So you were in Amarillo, so that's about 2 hours from you.
About 3, yeah.
Oh, it's okay. All
And
right. Well,
driving through the middle of nowhere, cows and field. That's it.
yeah, I drove to Laurel, Mississippi this week, which is about 4 hours. The beauty of that is halfway through the trip, I get to stop through the city of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where the Roll Tide lives, and then down in Laurel, Mississippi, we went down to Hattiesburg and had some great Cajun food down there. It's good Cajun influence. Also had some great Southern food this week. Fried chicken and mashed potatoes and fried okra and all that stuff, and then we went to a Italian restaurant, and I had some carbonara that really wasn't carbonara, but you guys probably aren't carbonara connoisseurs, are you?
I really
Anybody
don't
here?
say it like
No.
that.
No.
That's kind of an interesting way to
Well, go ahead and tell me how you say it.
carbonara. I like
Hey, dude.
carbonara.
Carbonara.
Can I say
Carbonara.
something? Can I say something? How do you know the
Carbonara.
rest of y'all don't talk wrong?
Oh, I talk wrong all the time. What are you
Okay.
talking about?
Yeah, me too.
What was that? What was that sauce? What was that sauce that I didn't get right one time? Something about some sauce word
Your
y'all
Yorkshire
used.
corchero
snap.
sauce?
Peter Snow.
No, it was something that Eric corrected me on. A
Wash your
pioli.
sister.
A
Wash your
pioli.
sister.
Oh,
Yeah, wash
aioli.
your sister sauce.
Aioli. So
Aioli
Oh.
sauce.
I
hey,
thought it was
hey,
wash your sister.
well, at least
Fancy
I have.
mayonnaise.
At least I have. Yeah, at least I haven't ever changed because from the very first episode I got Joey's last name wrong. So consistency is king, my friend. Consistency. So,
The one thing
but
I get is people correcting the way I said color.
yeah.
It's color, or I guess you could say color.
How do you say it?
Color. I say color. Cola.
Are you talking about the refrigerators and the
That
air
color's
conditioners?
That color's green. That color's
Oh,
blue.
cooler.
Yeah.
Cooler.
Cooler.
Yeah.
Cooler.
Yeah. Well,
Color.
also realize one thing. While you guys have been fairly stationary your whole lives, the
I don't know about
well,
that.
no, I guess that's
Yeah.
wrong. But I've been in. I guess I'm wrong there. But I grew up born in Georgia, grew up North Carolina, lived in Michigan for a decade, and then moved to Alabama. So I've got a
Oh, yeah.
reason to have
Yeah. You've been
all
around,
types
buddy.
of. Well, probably not as much as y'all, but spending those decades in places, you tend to develop a little bit of the best of everywhere. Matter of
I
fact, I
grew
remember.
up in Georgia.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yep.
In
explain.
Georgia.
Yep.
This is new to us. Explain
Yeah.
there, sir.
So when I was like 4 or 5, my dad, he's a building contractor, and he got together with a developer. And in the early '80s, we moved to Fayetteville, Georgia,
Yeah.
which is just southwest of Atlanta,
Right.
and we stayed there for 10 years. So,
Wow.
Okay.
so I lived in Fayetteville, Jonesboro, and Peachtree City, which is all southwest of Atlanta.
Well, go figure. Listen to that.
Yep.
Don't you tell
Yep.
us you're a Cajun no more.
I am Cajun.
You-
I was
you-
born in Louisiana.
Okay, I was born in Georgia. What does that make me?
A
Georgian.
Georgianian.
Georgian. Or
Georgian?
Georgia Peach.
A peach or a cracker, depending on who you ask. So yeah. So yeah,
Well-
you're Georgia peach, Georgia cracker. If you're from Texas, you're Lone Star. What do they call people from Texas?
A Texan?
A
Texan.
Texan.
A
Yeah.
Yeah,
Texican.
it's just Texan.
A Texican.
No, definitely Texan.
Definitely Texan.
Texan, because there are Texicans.
Well, people Texican, does that mean somebody that's migrated into it, or is it more of a Southern Texas type?
Nah, it's not really a Texican or anything like that. Those are just Mexicans that live in Texas.
Oh well, I don't want to be derogatory or anything. I just had
No,
heard the
no,
term
I'm
before.
saying there's not a term for it.
Oh,
Or
all right,
what they end up saying is that they're just Texan, whether
gotcha.
they're Mexican or
Yeah,
they're from Texas or whatever. They just say they're Texan.
yeah. No offense intended. I didn't know. I mean, listen, it's funny because
Oh,
my dad used to
they
walk
better
around
not take
calling.
offense.
Well, my dad used to walk around calling everybody Peckerwoods. He called me a Peckerwood my whole life, and
That's what you call the guys
Yeah.
in prison.
well,
Isn't that
my
a term they call
it's
these one of these gang groups? And
Yeah,
I
I'm
gotta
there
look
was
pretty.
one
this up
called
now.
Peckerwood.
I don't know, but it's something they did growing up, and I never really used the term, but my dad always used it, and then somebody had showed me, however it came up, maybe I'd seen it or whatever, and it's actually a racist term
yeah, it
from
is.
way back. And
It is.
I told my dad, I said, Dad, I said that's racist. Racist. You can't. Well, I don't mean it racist. I can use it however I want. I'm like, Dad, the world doesn't work that way, Dad. So
Yeah, it is because it's part of might be the Aryan Brotherhood or something. But anyway,
it might be, but
yeah.
I've never used it. But I told my dad, hey, Dad, don't do
It
that. And
it
he's
it is towards white people. It's
oh,
Yeah.
is it
how
really?
people referred to white people in prison
Oh,
back in the
well.
days.
Well, my dad also sent LOL to a lady whose husband had died at her church 10 years ago on an email. And I'm like, Dad, it's not lots of love. It means lots of love to me. Dad, the rest of the world doesn't feel that way. You might need to call her. She knows what I mean. Okay, Dad, whatever. So, anyway, so you guys know where I get it from now. So,
I
hey,
love it.
let's talk about our sponsors tonight with our new improved advertisements. And our first one, if you'll just hang tight with us, we'll be right back. Our first one's going to be the knife maker, our favorite knife making friend over at the Rivers Experience, and Eric Rivers is going to tell you all about them. Go ahead, Eric. Hey, Eric, you're supposed to tell us about the Rivers Experience.
Oh, mistake.
He didn't get the
I'm
memo, guys.
I'm over here just waving at the
Hey.
camera that y'all
Come
can't
on,
see.
man.
He's waiting for the audio to start. There is no audio.
There is no audio. I like this. Wow.
Now you only get 15 seconds, so you better hurry up.
Okay,
I'm
move
already
on.
almost out of time.
Yeah.
Okay, but for real though, you got two things. You got the Rivers Experience on YouTube. You have the TRE Workshop on Facebook. Those are two great places to be able to, you know, meet fellow knife makers and of course watch me make knives and teach people how to do that. I've been doing YouTube for about 4 years, teaching people how to make knives, and I like to break down the processes of knife builds, show you the intricacies behind knife making, and then we also communicate over at the TRE workshop on Facebook. It's a great group of people that are always positive and give out constructive criticism, not hate. And everybody likes to come together and show off their knives that they're making, whether it be a work in progress or a complete build. And we also have different people that go on there and offer up things like wood blocks with Oleg and skills, all kinds of different things. So definitely go check them out. It's again the Rivers Experience. I got my website, riversexperience.com, and TRE Workshop.
And I just want to say, you guys have to go out and visit TR Workshop on Facebook, and you have to go to the riversexperience.com, because if you do, Eric doesn't speak highly enough about himself. He's got his live broadcast that he's got now on YouTube, very active Facebook group, and also just the most beautiful knives and other products. I've got one of his coffee cups, and I tell you, the coffee tastes a little bit better in his cup than just drinking it out of my bare hands. So, have you ever drank coffee in your bare hands?
No.
No.
burns. It burns. So
I bet it does.
your cup was life changing for me, Eric. So y'all go visit Eric, guys. I think we caught Eric off guard there.
We did.
He didn't get the part. He didn't, since he was late to the podcast. He didn't hear the part where we were said, "Hey, when we do Eric's advertisement, let's throw it at him and let him do it."
That's
And there
awesome.
you go, guys. Let's jump into some fun stuff. I love this new format, especially going into season 5, episode 41. A little bit more open mic night approach and just whatever hits us. I've actually got some questions and stuff that are starting to come in, but I'm letting a few of those build up so that we have a show where we've got several questions and answers for that. So tonight, I know some of our guys have been getting quite good at building integral bolsters on their knives.
Mhm.
And I'm going to open up the floor to that. Let's kind of jump into the integral bolster show tonight. Who's going to take off?
Well, y'all know that I make them. Who else is trying to run with these things?
Otis Sear's been showing us a
Otis
knife.
trying.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now
yeah.
remember, Otis Sear, nobody can see what you're holding up, so you
Okay.
have to be
I'll
descriptive.
try and
Explain it.
describe it.
Explain it.
I stole this chisel from my boss, right? And a little hexagon chisel. Let's go right details, right? So the chisel was stolen from my shop. Hexagon, would say 3/8 thick. It was my second attempt at a integral build. Came out all right. I mean, little sort of a
Yeah.
paring knife. So yeah, pretty happy with the results so far. Already hardened and tempered and straightened. Good deal. Couldn't be happier so far.
That's excellent, but you got to tell us, how did you make that thing? And so that people understand, they're looking at a blade that's what, about 7-8 inches long?
Nah, more like 5-inch
Okay,
blade.
about 5. Okay,
Yeah,
and
5-inch blade.
following your traditional style of that kind of sweeping down where the finger choil
Finger
section is.
soil heel.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you. So you with that file, you had a nice piece of thick round stock. So how did you get that bolster started and get it moving into that nice equal shape on both sides?
My friend, I got a cheap what you call it, man? Man, I drew a blank right now, man. The
Guillotine tool.
sort of like a guillotine too, but now it's
It was a spring bolster.
fuller
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuller die. I bought a cheap one off of Amazon just to try it out. Ended up that I like it, so I gotta buy me a better one because every time I hit the hammer, it will kind of switch around on me. So
Yeah.
it's not really good quality, but I was able to put a nice, almost perfect on both sides of the blade.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It looks good.
came out all right. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
What did
So
you
basic-
use to smooth that out? To actually smooth the transition from the blade into the bolster? To get
I
that radius?
have a sort of like a waterfall attachment on my grinder.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
So just put it on the flat side and
Mhm.
grinding it sideways. So
Work
it's not
into it.
gonna have that's the same one, Chip. So it's
Nice.
not gonna have like my traditional plunge lines in there. So it's gonna migrate or actually blend from the cutting
Into
edge
it.
all the way to the to the integral part there. So yeah.
So for you to put that integral bolster in there, you used a spring tool, and I just looked up one. You said the same one you used. I found them on Amazon, and it
Yeah,
comes
it's
with
cheap. Hey,
a few pieces. Yes,
Yeah.
and yep, 3 pieces. And so basically, it's a spring bolster where you're taking that piece of steel in there, and when you hammer it, you've got 2 round bar stocks that are welded to that U-shaped piece of spring that sandwiches them together with the same amount of force because you're hitting them with the hammer, and it's distributing that force evenly on both sides. Is
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
did you
The
find that you got a fairly uniform type impression in there when you were doing it that way?
Yes and no. Yes, you have sort of a equal depth on both sides, and no, because the U, well, the sheath that makes the U shape, right, is
Yeah.
Right.
very thin and flimsy. So every time you hit it, it will kind of twist a
Deform it.
little bit and get out of alignment.
Mm.
So it
Yeah.
works good to make your initial plunge line, so to speak. But you kind of gotta come back later with the file guide and even out both sides.
Yeah, so this is the reason why a lot of people use the guillotine tool, because when you're using the guillotine tool,
I want one.
it won't move, it won't warp the C spring that's with that steel that you had there. Uh, each time you hit it, it's just going straight in the same spot over and over.
Yep.
But it's hard to use a guillotine tool to make a fuller, and the tool that you were using for that is a fullering tool that you would use to that way you can put the blade in it and it go lengthways down the blade
Mm-hmm.
as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to perpendicular to it, making a
Mm-hmm.
bolster.
So
And
yeah, I mean, I
it
only
works
bought it
though.
because it was cheap, right? I think I paid, I don't know, Chip is looking at it right now, but I think it was like $70, 70 ish.
$80. Yes.
Yeah, 70
Yep.
$80 for three tools. Got a creasing tool, fuller tool, and a cutting, like a hardy tool or
Yeah.
whatever. I guess I'm gonna have to get me a guillotine, put it in
Yeah.
there because I really like the way this came out. It's awesome.
I plan
Yeah.
on either buying one or making one myself.
Yeah.
Uh,
I got one off of eBay from Wyoming Tools. It's this guy in Wyoming that makes them.
yeah.
I think I paid like, I don't know, 50, $60 for it, and it came with 3 different dies. It came with a
Oh
set
wow,
of butcher dies, fullering dies, and flat.
oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to send you all the link.
Yeah, please do.
So the one that you can get for which is really good for integral bolsters. You get two different dies for it. You get the round ones that help you do the actual radius from the blade into the bolster, and then you do the cutoff, which are basically just chisels, where it's just chisel ground. And
Where
what
it
Yeah,
it
the
goes
does is
butcher
it
dies.
come,
into the
Right.
yeah,
handle.
yeah, that so that it comes down and it isolates the flat spot of the tang going in, or a flat spot of the bolster going into the tang,
Mm-hmm.
and then gives you that area to
Yep.
stretch out.
Yeah, I
Those are
need
the
that.
two that I'm gonna do.
I need that
So
in my life now.
so
See, the
you've
thing is, ever since Eric started posting all those forging videos, I've
Oh
been
yeah.
looking at it and said, "Man, I really gotta step up on my
Hmm.
game." I mean, my stock removal is second to none right now. I venture to say that my stock removal is up to the test,
No,
Oh
second
yeah,
to
no,
none.
it
I
it
am
is
is. It
really,
is.
absolutely.
really there. So my next step on my evolution as a maker would be a lot of forging. So the last few blades that I made, they're all forged, and
Nice.
again from odd stuff into a knife. Right?
Yeah,
I
I,
don't
I
those
will
think
tell you,
the
I've just made two blades back to back. I'm finishing one up now, and they were stock removal. And I agree with you, Eric.
yeah,
Everybody's a
you're
knife
not a knife
maker.
maker no more in my eyes, you know.
Yeah, I hear you. It for me. It's just not as fun when you're not banging on the steel as part of the process. It takes much longer, but
uh,
If you're not
it's
forging, you're not a knife maker no more.
Yeah, that's right.
well.
My
Hey,
goodness.
hey. Let me
That's
let me
cold.
let
well, I'm
me.
forging. I just ain't showed nobody anything yet. So
So when you go in and you use that fullering tool to swoop down to the blade level, and you'll have to refine that later. Then you're leaving that width up top, and you're having to go back at it, freehanding it with a grinder, and then eventually getting it onto your um,
File guide.
file guide and flattening everything out perfectly.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
How are you dealing with that as far as connecting your file guide to a bolster that's not maybe not completely flat? Joey, you got
I was just gonna say I'd recommend the Bill Bernanke integral bolster file guide
Yeah,
because
he's got one.
I plan on getting one
I
because
guess I need one now.
Yep, you
yeah,
will.
yeah, because it's made for integral bolsters.
Yep.
is it a special shape where it holds
Yes, it like so one side is shaped like a U, and then the other side's flat where you can clamp the around the bolster.
Right.
and you can file the backside flat.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So it fits. It'll fit. Pretty big bolster. So it's got a lot of clearance. You can look at the specifications on Bill Bernanke's website.
Yeah, I
But
I'm
he
see
I'm,
it.
has
su-
some.
I'm
Yeah. Do
surprised you're not.
post that later on our chat.
Why are you not saying it now? If they've only got 5 left, we need to order them before anybody else gets them.
Yeah.
Forward it quick, Mark. Forward it.
How much are they selling them for?
It's on
They're
Pops, right?
Probably 150.
Pops.
no,
No,
they're like two
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 225
seven.
on Pops.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not bad for a tool that you're going to use,
Yep.
especially if you get into really doing this for something you're going to use several times.
Yeah.
Well,
And
Sell-
and they
Sell
they
2
have
to 3 knives and it's paid for.
absolutely. And
Yeah,
they
5
have
once, 12
carbide
once.
carbide inserts
Okay.
that you can change out on the face. So
Shape.
Nice.
So this same shape with the U shape and everything.
yeah, same
Oh
shape.
wow. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep, all the way
That
around.
sounds like it's worth it.
It
I,
is.
And the cool thing is, it looks like you can switch them around and have them with the bolster side in, or flip them around and have flat side in.
Flat side.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
you can use them either way, which is
That's
really
a double
nice.
tool right there.
It is
That's
2 tools for the price
awesome.
of one.
Yep.
Interestingly enough, you haven't forwarded that to me yet, Mark.
Uh,
The
Yeah.
I think I
Go to
asked you to
Pops.
like 3 minutes ago.
Pops.com. Pops Knife Supply.
Pops.com.
Pops
So-
Knife Supplies.
So when it comes to integral bolsters with my side of it and everything, if you're a listener and you haven't seen an integral bolstered knife or try to understand what that is, it's exactly what it sounds like. If you look at a knife that has bolsters, like a set of brass bolsters or something like that, as part of the handle, this is a one where it's actually fully integral. So it was made out of one piece of steel as opposed to 2 pieces of brass or 2 pieces of steel sandwiching your blade that's then pinned into place with pins. You're just not doing that process. It's out of one piece of steel, which looks really cool, especially if you're doing like Damascus and you want your Damascus to flow up into that bolster area and you want it to follow the actual pattern all the way through. One of the easiest ways to do that is to create an integral bolster. You'll see a lot of knives nowadays that you can get anywhere as simple as Walmart, different things like that, that are like little chef's knives and paring knives that have that integral bolster because
Yes.
it makes for a real comfortable pinch grip whenever you're going through and you're doing that style of chopping or something. And so you have kind of like an explosion of people doing integral bolstered knives now, especially on YouTube and things like that. I've really enjoyed it. I started watching Neil Kamamura a while back, and he was making these beautiful brute de forge, hand forged integral bolster chef's knives that are just immaculate and beautiful. And I wanted to try that. And whenever I first got into forging, I watched a few of his videos, and the thing that he suggests is forge as often as possible, as much as possible, as many knives as you can. And if you want to pick up a new skill, put yourself through the paces and do it a lot. If you can do it 50, 60, 70 times, do it. And so I forge a lot of integrals. I have plenty of videos on my YouTube channel for it, but really for me, I make a lot of knives off camera that I make, and I'll sell them to, of course, customers and things like that. But whenever I make mine, which is what, of course, y'all can see on there, I just forge it, and I wanted to get used to what hammers and anvils and all that stuff does before I end up buying a tool for it. So that's what I put myself through, and I eventually want to get that waterfall platen or make one. I was talking to Jason Knight at Blade Show Atlanta, and he was telling me how he did his with roller skate bearings and a little piece of steel that just welded it together and mounted it onto his one of his arms on his grinder, and that's all it was. So every radius that you see on all of Jason Knight's integral bolsters are all the same radius of a skateboard bearing.
Hmm.
And
Hey, coming
that's what
back
he
though
does.
to this Bill Binky, Neil Kamamura. Did I not say that right? Neil Kamamura. Blah, blah, blah.
More or less,
Kamamura.
yeah.
Yeah, universal, integral, and flat. So they both got credit for it here, but it looks to me like it flips. You can put it, it flips around where you can use it on a flat knife or reassemble it the other way and use it on an integral bolster.
Yep.
So that's really
Yeah,
cool. So
Mark
I
was
mean,
talking
it's
about
only
that.
it's only a little bit more than. Did you say that, Mark?
Well,
I'm
no, no,
sorry.
no.
I was glossed over. I'll just cut it out of the episode, and then no, I won't. So, old man, look at my life. Hey, so I got to reading because I was all gummed up because you wouldn't send me the link, so that's why I didn't hear it.
That's
So
right.
yeah, this is pretty cool. And just so you all know, I just bought the last 10 they had, and they're now $500. If anybody wants one, that's
Go
what you
to
get. That's
Shagman
what you.
Knife.
No, it's not
Bill
Checkmate
and
Knife. Now is knife-maker.com.
knife-maker.com. And speaking of
Knife-maker.com.
knife-maker.com, I also want to point out that we were just looking at Pop's Knife Supply. So, guys, Pop's has supported us for quite some time. And not only do they support us, they support every maker, every business out there, everybody that that's doing something. You can get a Ameribraid, you can get your belts, you can get your steel, you can get your fasteners, you can get your glues, you can even get your T-shirts from popsknifesupplies.com, or you can go to popsknife.supplies and get there as well. But that whole team over there offers some of the best customer service. So go visit them today.
Oh.
You don't even have to swim there, Mark.
No, I'm looking at Joey's hat.
Oh
Pops,
yeah,
a
Joey's.
Pops hat.
You know, we're going to have to do a video broadcast the way we do this whole looky.
Yeah, man, we can have a little channel somewhere.
Yeah, Otis here was talking to me this
Rumble.
week. I've got to get on Rumble, he says. So I've signed up for Rumble, and
Yeah,
I
we
don't know if
can
we'll do a video
we can have a
podcast,
Knives
but
Templars channel there and
What's
go
Rumble?
go live. It's similar to YouTube, only freer and no
Yeah.
censorship.
You
Oh,
don't get banned as easily
Yeah,
for
you can you
So you can-
pretty
stuff.
you can say a lot.
You can say a lot.
Yeah, before they
Yeah.
okay, that's out of bounds. You know.
is the Rivers experience on Rumble?
Yeah. I just haven't posted the videos. I've got a bunch of videos that I'm gonna put on there, but yeah, I have it. And yeah, so I mean, it's things that they
Oh.
do there versus YouTube. And I can say this on this because I don't have to worry about YouTube stopping me. So the thing going on right now is the whole Russell brand,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
YouTube cut off his monetization, and Rumble said, "Yeah, you can go F yourselves." And they did not cut off his monetization just because
Yep.
the government
So-
was trying to pressure them into it.
So Rumble is not owned by Google, correct?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Sounds like the government needs to break Google up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going
It
to do
is-
that though because they're owned
Yeah.
the same way.
Oh yeah, I understand, but yeah, it's just too big, and too
So
encompassing.
yeah,
so.
It is.
That would be my 2 cents. I think we should have a Rumble channel. Have some kind of a video format.
I'm
And
down.
because I've seen some podcasts where people were talking the way we are right now, each other, looking at each other feeds, and we can see and talk, and people can see at the same time. So yeah,
Right. We will be checking out Rumble. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have a video podcast. But we've got to do this. I've got to get out of my son's bedroom, who's 28 and has been out for 10 years or so. Don's got to come out of the closet. I just see closet doors behind
I'm
him.
in a bunk bed cave.
Yeah. Mark, where are we finding you?
I'm in my bedroom.
Joey, are you in the library?
look at
I'm in the it's a office. This is the
Joey
office.
Joey is in an unofficial office, and Otis here is in his son's room that's full of action figures. That his son is off in the military now, and so we're all we've got to get some professional backgrounds going. So
yeah. So
look
my
all
son
official.
is an
I've
addict
got
on Gundam. So he buys them Gundam sets and he builds it like little intricate pieces. It takes
Yeah.
him like hours just putting
Is that
everything
like
together.
a
And painting
magnifying
them.
glass behind you? What is that?
Yeah. It's magnifying glass and
Well, that sounds exciting,
Wow.
yeah.
nerds.
Yeah, I've got 2 months, 2 months, and I will have my podcast space because I'm going to be doing part of that on the YouTube channel.
So you're gonna
And
be cheating on us. That's what you're telling me.
Are you?
yeah,
Is it going to be out? Is it going to be out in your shop? Because you better get some internet out there.
it's going to be the shop will have its own internet and its own heating and
Ah.
AC and all that. But I'm not going to do like what we do. It's going to be more how I do my live streams and stuff like that. But I'm going to have that
I've got a
and
great
do
I got a great
everything.
name for it. Coming
Oh,
out
what is
with
it?
coming out with Eric.
Better believe it. Right?
He
Coming
said, I
out.
can't
Coming
believe
out.
it.
Well,
Coming out.
you're going out into the shop, so it's being like coming out with Eric.
I don't know if that's what maybe an interesting group of people. Because I would have to, hey, I'd have to have the riots background. I'd have to have his.
That pink background he's got there.
Dude,
Yes.
what is up with that? I don't understand.
I don't
I don't
know.
know, but you've gone
Yeah,
full
yeah, full pinky.
Full
yeah,
fuchsia.
you look like Barney the dinosaur, brother.
Dude, like crazy. I've been trying to figure out how to fix it, but
No, pink looks good on you. So
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
good. You're good.
you would say that.
Yes, I would. Hey, y'all like Jason Fry? I think Jason Fry's gone. Did I say Fry right?
Jason
did.
Yeah,
Fry.
Fry.
Jason
I think Fry.
Fry. Jason Fry.
Is
You
it
got
Jason
any-
Fry?
You got any
Jason
big?
Fry.
I think it's Jason Fry.
Jason
You
Fry.
got you got any big ones?
.com.
I'll have a big one then.
I don't
Yeah,
think
he was ordering
that?
fries. He was ordering French fries.
I think he's hunting, isn't he? Hunting.
He's
Y'all didn't
definitely
get-
I
not.
think he is.
Y'all didn't get my Sling Blade reference.
Well,
I better stick to.
I got it.
Silence.
I better stick to who does a good who does a good Carl Childers. Come on, guys, one at a time. Joey.
Well, listen here, Pilgrim.
That's not Carl Childers. Don, can you do a Carl Childers?
No, I cannot. Who is
That-
that?
that
Who's
was-
Carl Childers?
Sling Blade.
Oh my. Oh,
Oh, Sling.
mm,
Carl Childers.
yeah.
Wait, first of all, did you say him by name?
Yes.
Nobody knows the name of the main character in Sling Blade. They know Sling Blade.
We're talking about Chip here now. It's Chip.
Holy cow! He said the
I-
character's
I
name.
know.
Yeah.
First
I know his girlfriend's name in the
Yeah,
movie
he's
too.
talking about
Yeah.
nerds, huh?
Lord.
Yeah. Okay, Mark. Do you do a Carl Childers?
I do not.
Just Tone Loco.
That's right.
Otis here. Let's hear your best Brazilian Carl Childers.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Well, I guess we won't be doing that then. All right, guys. We've got a game tonight. Are you ready to play? And I'm going to be keeping score.
Yeah, go
to
ahead,
be
man.
people's voices.
All right.
All right. I've got a bunch of famous quotes. And on tonight's episode, you have to come up with, you get 1 point. Let's see, we've got here Riot. We have Pinto. We have something.
Who's something?
I'm just putting your last name.
Something. Who's
And
something?
VMAX
Oh,
is now
Eric.
calling himself Skegman, and he didn't even spell it right, brother. There's SKJEGGMANT.
VMAX.
There's too many
Eggman.
letters in that.
And we've got
VMAX
we've got Train Boy. So we've got the Riot, Pinto, something, VMAX, and Train. And you know what? Let's do a little music because all good game shows need some music.
Wait, are you on there? Tater?
What's that?
Tater?
What's Tater?
Chip.
What?
I'm saying, did you put yourself on there, or are you just?
No.
Oh, you're just playing.
I'm the game show host.
Oh.
I'm the game show host. So the rules of this game is that I'm going to give you some famous quotes, and you get 1 point for getting the quote right. You get 2 points if you say something incredibly funny and make the rest of us laugh.
Man, I don't watch TV. I'm gonna lose.
Yeah, no.
So here's a good example. I would say if I asked you this and you give me what you think is the right answer, one small step for man, one giant leap for
Kermit the Frog.
Mankind.
So
Oh,
Chip would say, one small step for man, one giant leap for who didn't clean up after their dog.
That sounds like a dad joke.
That's not funny.
Oh.
When I thought about that. All right, let's see. Let's see. Oh, you laughed. You laughed. 5 points for me. All right.
It wasn't what you said. It's that you thought it would be.
when I was driving to work this morning, I was laughing my rear end off in the car at that.
I bet you were.
One small leap for man, one giant leap for who didn't clean up after the dog. All right, here we go, guys. Question or quote number 1 by William Shakespeare. I'll give you the author. A rose by any other name would smell as
sweet.
Don, you get 1. And Don just gets 1 because
nobody laughed.
Nobody laughed. Same right? Author. It is right. All that a rose by any other name would smell as sweet.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Is. Here we go. All that glitters is not
glamorous.
-1, Joy.
Gold.
All right, Eric. Something. Sorry, you're something. You get 1 point. All that glitters is not. Is there something funny that make you laugh?
I don't want to go there on this one.
Give it to us, Otis. Here, I can bleep it.
Come on.
Stripper's butt.
Oh, stripper's butt.
You get 3. You get 3 points.
That's valid though.
You get 3. You get 3 points. Okay.
Come on, Rumble.
John Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can
do for your country.
Put on a cracker.
With the accent.
Yes, exactly.
All right, Riot, you're up to 1 point because you were -1. So you did get the group to laugh. That's 2 -1 is 1 point. Good job. Good job.
Good job.
All right, guys, we're gonna stretch it here. Now this is from the Bible.
Oh.
So you better not be funny here. You just better show that you're a good Bible student. What did God say at the end of Revelations? Don't add to or take away these words. So we got to be careful with this one.
Okay.
Ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and
you shall
find.
Oh, are y'all going to split the point there? Do you both get a point, Otis, here and Don?
You can do that. I'll split it with him.
All right.
Half and a half.
Finish it out, though.
These guys got 0.5 points.
All right, we're standing at the Riot has 1, Pinto has 4 because of his glitter bomb joke, and something has 1. VMAX is well, he just hasn't got anything yet.
That's right. I'm not negative.
The train is up to 2.
What did you do? Round their half points up?
I hear the train.
Yes. Sherlock Holmes said, elementary, my
dear Watson.
Sorry, Don. Don got that one. He's up to 3 points. 3 points. And VMAX, you were a little slow on the buzzer there.
I was.
We got a buzz in?
Rhett said, frankly, my dear, I don't
give a darn.
Hang on, Elizabeth, I'm coming.
I don't give a damn.
You said Red, huh?
Rhett Butler, yeah. So, frankly, my dear, I
don't give a darn.
Nobody can say anything funny to that. It's so easy.
Well, I mean, the Riot did use a completely different quote.
But it didn't. Frankly, my dear, I, and then help me, whatever, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you, didn't really make a proper sentence. It was like two quotes slammed
Yeah,
together.
but you said red. You said red. I thought you were talking about
Rhett.
Rhett.
Are you getting on me about the way I say things again?
Rhett.
No, absolutely not.
All right, that's -1 for the riot. You're back to 0. And and I hate to say it, Train, you're up to 4 points now. You're tied with Pinto, but none of you made that funny. You guys got it. This was so fun. I was laughing my tail off going to work reading these things, making up words. Oh.
Again, that doesn't shock me.
5 points for Eric. He made everybody laugh. No, I'm just joking. No points for Eric on that one. Rick Blaine said, "Here's looking at
You
bananas
Kid.
You made me laugh, Joey. You get 2. VMAX, I'm going to give you 1 just because you said it right. Okay, VMAX is on the board.
Hey.
Jim Lovell said, "Houston,
we have a problem.
We got a problem."
Cannonball.
He said, "We have a problem." Who said got a problem?
We have a problem.
Nobody's.
Don got it right. Yeah, Don got it right. So Don is up to 5 points. VMAX is back to 0 because he quoted it wrong.
All right.
I love the smell of.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
There's a lot there, man.
Oh man!
But Joey just got it right.
He did.
Yeah, I was.
That's Apocalypse Now, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got
like
3 points.
Scene.
All right. But I tell you what, everybody if you come up with something better, I love the smell of. And
napalm in the morning.
No. If you make everybody laugh, we'll take away 1 point for each time somebody laughs with a good answer.
Right.
Don, I love the smell of.
A soupy.
What?
Soupy.
That was so stupid. It was funny. All right. He's down. He's down to 2 points now. Mark, I love the smell of.
I love the smell of pinto sauce in the morning.
Eric didn't laugh.
First of all, y'all take that however y'all want it to be. I'm just saying, y'all, all the viewers that have no clue what pinto sauce is, get your minds a rolling.
Okay, so Eric something gets 5 points for that because I thought that was funny. All right, Pinto. I love the smell of.
I guess I'll pass on this one. Trust me on this.
Oh, come on.
Trust
Pinto.
me on this.
Oh.
No. You can't. You have to do it.
No,
I love the smell of buzzballs in the morning.
There you go. You got it from me. Thank you very much.
Eric's on mute, so let me see if I can do it.
Oh, there he is.
I'm right here.
Eric, throw us one. I love the smell of.
Whew, okay. There's a movie that was it was like Biodome or whatever as the
Fully
the whole
Shore.
oh yeah, I love the smell of my farts. When you taste what you ate.
I love I love the smell of after I fart. I love the smell of my fingers.
Oh God!
Well,
I was going along with you. See, Eric. I don't know if Eric's laughing.
Man, you took mine and you were like, you know what? I'm gonna double down. I'm gonna double down. I'm gonna double down. Let's.
I thought he was just gonna say like, I love the smell of chalupas.
What was that movie with it was kind of the one with the guy with the white mask was running around with the knife and the black
Scream.
Remember when they made Teen Movie and they had the one kid in it,
Yep.
Dopey or Doofy or whatever,
Doofy,
and the guy put his fingers up underneath Doofy's
yeah.
nose, and then
I
Doofy
made it
did
with
it.
my very own hands.
Yeah, that was part of it. But this particular scene, the guy puts his fingers up under his nose and says, "Smell this," and it was inappropriate. But then Doofy puts his fingers up underneath the policeman's nose, and he goes, "Oh, what is that?" And he said something about his scratching his ass or something like that. I don't know. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, we've currently got Joey's down to 1, Pinto's got 4, Eric's got 5, VMAX has 0, and the train's got 5. So a couple more here. You guys feel like a couple more?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Let's do that.
Sure.
All right. I don't even want to do this one.
Do it.
May the force
Be with you.
Okay, everybody gets 1. Joey's got 2, Pinto's up to 5, Eric's up to 6, VMAX is up to 1, Train's up to 6. All right. Let's see. Theodore Roosevelt said, "Speak softly and carry a big
stick,
Knife.
baby." A big knife.
There's enough knives there that Pinto gets 2 points because I knew that Pinto was going to say knife.
Carry a
just
big
waiting.
knife.
Big knife.
A man after my own heart, right there. Carry a
There you
big
go.
knife.
Yep.
Okay. So we have 7 points. So Riot, you've been eliminated, and we're going into the champion round. VMAX, you're eliminated. Eric's got 5, Train's got 6, Pinto's got 7. And so
I won.
keep this. Keep this in mind. Eric's got 5, Train has 6, Pinto has 7. So what I need you to do is wager some points for the following answer or the following question.
Final
So,
Jeopardy.
yep. So Pinto, how many points are you willing to wager? There's a prize at the end of this.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
A
everything.
binky. You get a binky.
No,
Everything.
there's a major prize at the end of this. Not only did I laugh all the way to work today with dad jokes, as Eric puts them, I came up with a prize. So, what are you willing to wager there, Pinto, for the major award?
Everything.
So you're going to wager
All or
7
nothing.
points. 7 points. All right. Well, if you get this right, you'll be up to 14, and no one can beat you. What about you, Eric? He kind of put you in a hot spot there. What are you going to do?
The whole shebang, all 5.
Is Eric frozen?
I think Eric's
No.
frozen because
That
he's
is
just
good.
like
No, you
he's
get
just got this look on his like
Dang.
he's like
That's cold.
Yeah.
He's got the dang, he just
Hey.
went off. He had the no, come back.
Oh,
Let me
he's
get the
back,
picture.
he's back.
I got it. I
He's
got
back.
it. I got it. I'm taking pictures of it. These are going online. Eric frozen. Here, matter of fact, well, I don't need to make a video while we're doing this. We'll just say Eric is going to put all 5 in front. Don the Train, you've got 6 points. How much would you like to wager?
Let's do it all, baby. Let's take it all.
All right, and that will give you 6. Eric is still completely frozen with the most beautiful smile.
I see it moving.
He,
Oh,
he's coming.
got 2 Erics.
Oh, 2
He's
Erics.
back.
Yeah,
Two
got it.
Erics.
All right, Eric, this is gonna.
Eric's
This
got
is
a twin.
Oh,
yeah. Hopefully,
Did he? Oh, I thought he was frozen again. Is he?
Junior.
no, he got
Okay.
a clone now.
all right. So
No, there he
there.
is.
Yeah. Now we got rid of that. Good. I was about to tell you, you got to close one of them. Eric, you've got 5 points. Pinto wagered 7. Don wagered
I'm
6.
5.
You have to wager all 5, I guess, to have a chance, unless they lose.
Yep.
So, all right. So let me just so you know, VMAX, I have one on there. It says, "You talking?" He's like, "I would have won that. I would have won that." All right. So you guys have to write this down. You can't call it out. Do you have something to write down in front of you?
Yeah.
Of course not. I'm in a child's room.
You know what? They don't have
Oh,
to
no,
write
no,
it
no,
down.
hey.
For you, Eric.
I got you.
All right.
Purple
All right.
marker
There we go.
and a piece of sketch paper. Let's do it.
All
Let's
right.
go.
All right. All right. So here we go. It's one of my favorite ones, and you cannot say it. You'll have to hold it up, and we'll have to read it. You guys know who Robert Frost is?
Nope.
Yeah.
Is he a
Nope.
painter?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. All right. Now, guys, don't call it out.
I know who Bob Ross is.
Yeah, I
You're
do.
close. All right. Okay, guys, don't call it out. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one last traveled by. What's the end? Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one last traveled by. And you fill in the blank. And is a word in there. Two roads diverged into a wood, and I took the one last traveled by. And okay, there you go. Dun
Is
dun
it
dun
by
dun.
blank and something?
You just got to fill in the rest of that sentence there. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one last traveled by. And you fill in the rest of that sentence. The beautiful people, the beautiful people, bump, bump, the beautiful people, the beautiful. Don't hold it up yet, Otis. Here, the beautiful people.
It's
The
too
beautiful
loud,
people. Okay.
but I liked it.
All right. So here we go. All right. So we have our people. Pinto is wagered all 7 points. Something is wagered 5, and Train is wagered 6. It looks like they should have at least, some of them should have at least kept 1 point based on the facial expressions. I will let you guys know I would have won the $1 million on this, but let's see how you do.
Made
Nobody.
the game.
No, I actually have a lot of Robert Frost poetry books, but I will tell you this: Riot and VMAX, you may have a chance to come back here just in case. So don't look it up. I see you looking down at your phone, Terrio. Okay, your face just gave it away. Terrio looked at his face. He looked it up. VMAX, have you looked it up?
No, but I think I know what it.
Okay, then just stop right there. All right, Pinto.
Yeah.
You have to read your answer. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one last traveled by, and
I saw a Bigfoot.
Pinto, you have 0 points.
That's
valid.
I think he should get extra points for that.
No,
Because if you're going to see a Bigfoot, you're going to be on the road less traveled, right?
That's true.
You have 0 points, Otis.
But it was a good answer. I liked it.
Okay. And Don says, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and
Less traveled.
That's your answer?
Yep.
Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by and less traveled.
And it's less traveled or less traveled. That's what I wrote.
So you've got 0 points, Don.
Yeah,
you guys,
thank you.
Both those sound better than what I said.
So something, Eric something Rivers. Two roads diverged in a
Eric.
wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and everyone else I can.
Oh, you said to write it down. I have no clue who the person is you're talking about.
I don't either.
Robert Frost. Okay, Robert Frost is a decorated poet from the United States, born in the 19th century and died in the 60s of the 1960s of the 20th century. VMAX, do you know the answer? Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that.
I thought it was something like and made the difference in my life or something like that. Isn't it something like that?
We're going to have to ask the judges. What do you say? They are giving you credit for that.
That
Joey,
Winky Winky gets credit. All right.
Yes. Joey, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, and that made all the difference.
Yeah, you looked it up on your phone.
So you say, what did Google say?
So yes, Robert Frost. Stopping by roads on a snowy evening. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. And with that being said, Mark, you will be winning. Johnny, what's he going to win? Well, Chip, that's not very good. Like, who can I do? Well, Chip, I don't know. Hey, Mark, you're winning a straightening hammer from the.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh my!
You have just won a straightening hammer from the Forge of Shegmund, Mand, and
Oh,
if you provide us your address, we will be happy to build that over the weekend and put that in the mail to you for
all
delivery next
right.
week.
Way to
Hey,
go.
yeah, can we? Hey,
That's an awesome prize.
some applause in the audience there. Great job. All right, everybody, calm down, calm down. It's enough. It's just a straightening hammer. Stop. Quiet. It's quiet.
I
Thank
was a
you.
mean kid.
Thank you. And tonight's episode was brought to you by Phoenix Abrasives and the Templars 10 discount. You can find all of your abrasive needs over at phoenixabrasives.com, and you can find them on the app and order directly from them. Where will they find that app, guys? Come on. Dun, 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 dun. Come on.
On the Wix, right? Isn't
The
it
Wix app.
the
You're
Wix app? Do I
not
get another
only
point for that?
actually I'm going to darken the handle. So
Oh,
you will have a
Oh,
darkened waxed handle
oh,
nice.
good.
and a straightening hammer that will be built tomorrow and put in the mail on probably have to go
Oh,
out from Texas somewhere on Monday or Tuesday.
All
it's gonna
right.
be nice.
That's
You're gonna
lovely.
like that, man.
Oh
You're
yeah.
gonna like that, buddy.
I'm gonna have.
Congratulations on your major award.
Thank
Amen.
you.
Good job.
Yeah. Any
That was
parting
awesome.
words or anything to say? Anybody
I
wish to
would
thank?
I would thank Odor Series. I liked his Bigfoot answer.
Right? I mean, if you're ever going to see a Bigfoot, it's on a road less traveled,
That's
right?
right.
That is right. That is right. So the road less traveled, that takes us there, guys. So the road less traveled is where we find most of ourselves. And I think that applies to knife makers as well. If you look at the things that we do every day, we challenge ourselves to do things. These days, I'm starting to go down that road with some of the things I'm doing, certainly with like Joey's assistance on how to put that false edge or swedge on a curved
Mhm.
blade. But tell me some of the things that you guys are doing these days that are stretching your limits.
Well,
Forging.
Well,
forging's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, go ahead, Don. Let's go around table. What do you got going on, Don?
I talked earlier about trying a new platen, a number 36 platen. It gives you more of a hollow grind on
Yeah.
the blade. And
Now, when you say a 36 platen, explain that to the folks that may not understand what it is.
way I understand it, and Joey probably could because he's a engineer. I would say if you take a wheel that's 36 inches in diameter and cut out 8 inches of it, and you got a number 36 platen. And what it is, this is sloped enough to give you a little more concave in your grind. And
So what you're saying is it has the
yeah,
equivalent of a 36-inch
yeah,
wheel
Wheel.
on a platen.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And
It's
So
got
you're
the
saying
it's,
you're
it's
saying
got
you
the radii.
yeah,
It's
the
got
radii.
The radius of a
Mhm.
36 on a
Yep.
platen.
I
So
knew
okay? So
Joey.
you've lost me. You've lost me. You took a wheel and you cut it.
No,
It's a
a
flat
mayor braid
platen.
did.
The back is flat, and then the front is
Yeah. Okay, I know what their flat platens are. When he said wheel, it would have the equivalence of being
Of
on a
the
wheel. Is
yeah,
what you're
a
saying?
36
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
radius.
right
Yes,
because it's got
yes.
the radii of 36-inch wheel.
Now, when you say that on the knife that you showed us, now are you saying that you did your bevel grinds with that?
Yes, it's what I did. I took the flat platen off and put
Your main bevels or your cutting edge?
the main bevel.
His main
Okay.
bevel.
Main bevel.
Okay.
It's slope. And it's a slight. It's got a slightness to it, but you can feel the ridge.
Mhm.
Yep.
And what it does, it thins down that edge. Probably it gives you a little more cutting length or a little more cutting time as it sharpens. So that's why a lot of people go a hollow grind anyway. They say it cut well. They say it cuts better, but I mean they all have their. I think they all have their.
Well, I got my pink screen, but you can see the edge.
Do you
Yeah,
use
Joey's
a
holding one up for us right now to look
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
do you use a jig for that? Because I guess you wouldn't be able to freehand that, right? Very well.
Oh
Other,
yeah, yeah. You can use
yeah,
freehand on it, but I don't. I
yeah.
Yeah,
mean, I know
that,
guys that
that's
do.
what that's what this is. This is
Yep.
freehand.
When you say you
Okay,
don't, Don, how are you grinding it?
On my tilt table.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah. That
Yep.
tilt table is a nice thing. I actually did what you
Yes, it
did.
is.
I went in and ground out the back edge of that table so that I can get up
Mhm.
closer to the belt and
Exactly.
better angles. So you're
Yep.
not riding so high on
Okay.
the belt. Otherwise, you're riding so high on the platen, it's hard to get into where you need to be. So
Well,
I did the same thing on mine.
well, the
yeah.
good thing about when you're using this radius platen, what happens, it drops down so you can get a little closer than normal. Because the way the
Hmm.
curve of the platen just curves down, that radius, and you can slide up in a little bit there and get your two degrees or whatever you need. So
What does Mary charge for one of them platens?
I think it's $85
It's
for the
not bad.
platen, which is
Oh, they
fairly
must have went
cheap.
up.
Yeah,
They
it's
must have went up.
Just for the platen or for the whole attachment?
just for the platen.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a platinum.
And guys, that's cheap because other companies sell them for $130 for the platen.
Do
Right.
you know what kind of
Went up.
steel the platen is made out of? Is it like a mild steel or
I
some
think it's
No,
hardened
hardened
it's
steel.
C2
it's
or
hard.
Yeah.
A2?
Yeah,
Everything
it's
they do
hardened
is
steel.
hardened. So,
Yeah.
and a matter of fact, I'm still on my first platen a
Well,
year later, and it looks
not
great.
everything, because when I first got my grinder, the platens wasn't hardened
No, they didn't start that
when
until
till
probably 3
later.
months after I got mine in
Yep.
2021.
And
And
I was, I was
when I
speaking in
blew
terms when I
through
got mine.
that first one,
Yep, and
uh,
it goes quickly. It's just mild
yeah,
Mhm.
steel.
but I had it resurfaced, and then I used it again, blew through it again, and then I was like, you know what? I need a hardened platen.
Mhm.
So they were making it
Yeah.
at the time, so I bought a flat one, and then that's when I bought that 36-inch and that 24
I
inch
think I'm gonna
radius
go with a
platen.
24 next time. I'm gonna
I
try for
guess that's why
24.
people used to
That
really. I guess that's why people used to really go towards the glass platens because
Yeah,
you had the heat
exactly.
transfer and you didn't get the wearing. I've still got some large glass. I got a glass platen on my 2x42.
Yeah, I
I
have a
was
glass
Yeah,
thinking
platen
about
too.
that glass
with
platen.
that 24-inch,
Mhm.
Don,
Yeah.
it's going to be a little bit more pronounced.
Yeah, I believe so.
Uh,
You gotta be
yep,
careful, especially when you go up that bevel. I
yep, yep.
mean,
What do you
Because
mean? What do you mean? You got to be
you'll
careful so people
well,
understand that, and I do
well
too.
okay, when
you'll blow through because your grinds are doing like
Oh,
this.
you'll blow through the steel.
you'll blow
Yes.
through the center right through here
Yep.
Yeah.
on that.
Gotcha.
I
Especially if
went
you're
up
doing like a
high.
S grind.
Yep.
So
Yep.
basically, so the listeners understand when they're saying blow through that steel is so if you're grinding a flat bevel, you don't have to worry about it. You're just going
No.
to keep taking it up from the bottom. But if you've got a curve in that bevel,
Mhm.
Yeah, hollow.
a hollow curve, yeah, the two sides may meet, and you may end up with a hole in the middle of your
Exactly.
knife.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you've pushed yourself on that. What about you, Mark? You actually showed us some blades here recently, and we know you're pushing
Oh
yourself
yeah.
on some growth opportunities. So what do you got to say for yourself?
yeah. I wanted to work on my, just really where you guys have probably been, at least a year or so ago is just working on my grinds a little bit. So I did a set of 4 blades, and originally I was just going to try the same grinds in all 4 and just kind of practice getting that consistency. But what I decided to end up doing is I was going to try like 4 different styles of doing some grinding. And
Well, I tell you, lift them up so everybody can hear them clanking, and these guys can
that's
see
right.
them.
So you can hear them all clanking, right?
Yeah. The audience
So,
can't see them, but we can.
that's right. Yeah.
Clank
So
them
we had
together. There we go. There we go. Need
that's
some
right.
clanking.
Oh, it sounds like you got a hardened one in there.
There you go.
That's right. So I did 2 of them freehand,
Yeah.
and so I got one free-handed, and that actually didn't come out too bad. The next one, it's free-handed, and then it was all kinds of problems. So I think I nicked the false edge a little bit with the with the with the belt, and then I had to take the bevels up higher, and then they weren't even, so I had to take them up a little bit higher, and they kept getting higher and higher, and it was just
You were chasing the bevels.
I
Yep.
was just chasing them, right? And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so I stopped on that, and I put them down for a little bit, and then I complained on the on our chat group for a day.
Whenever that starts happening, Mark, change. Go to drop down on your grit. Go to a little bit finer grit,
Okay.
and it won't eat as much steel, and it'll slow you down,
Hmm.
and you'll start to get back in your groove, and when you're freehanding like that.
Do
Yeah.
you know how
I
I
just
eliminated that problem?
well, let me tell you how
Yeah.
I do because it's probably going to be better than yours. I take another shot of apple pie moonshine by
There
Old
you go.
Smoky.
2 swallows.
So so I
Smoky.
had two more knives that I tried, right? And so the other one I put the bigger uh, what do we
Jig, jig.
jig on there, right? It's kind of what I use to grind my for the hidden tang knives, that I do my hidden tangs with. But I put the bigger one on there, and I thought I'd have more control with that. Then I found with that the bottom was hidden, so I couldn't quite see that was if that was getting flat up against the edge. So that one came out really nice, but they weren't perfectly symmetrical for my left side versus my right side, and so I had to even those out. Now,
What were you going to say?
because go
I
ahead.
was going to say, what were you going to say, Otis, here? Because you said you had answer for that.
I mean, the reason, well, the way I got away from chasing my bevel lines was going
Mhm.
full flat.
Yep.
Yeah,
You ain't got
Yeah.
nothing
Yep.
to chase. Yeah,
that's right.
it's flat. It's flat. Good to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, and
You
that's how this
know,
one is.
That
It's about
actually
to
I
go
says
flat
that.
now.
haven't I
Yeah.
haven't ground one.
But if you're doing
Saber
speed,
grind, or I haven't
yeah.
done a
Scandy,
scandy or anything like this in a very long time. I mean, I went full flat,
and
and
you
that's
never
where I
looked back.
decided to stay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that Scandy grind. I like a tall, higher Scandy grind on a lot of knives,
If
and
you're gonna do a scandy, the best thing you can do is have what Mr. Don have and what Chip has, is that tilt table.
or
Just set
or
it and forget it.
Yep.
or a
Both
jig.
sides are gonna come exactly the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can use a jig, or you can use a tilt table. Are great for that. Um, and if you slow that machine down, because I did one recently where I slowed the machine down so much, and at the end, I was using a 400 grip belt running on very low speed and just doing really light passes, and I had set the knife on the table, kind of like Dennis Tyrell does, and just kind of moving it across for those last passes, and it did well.
On
But
your hard platen, you were using your 400 grit. What kind of? I can't find any
no,
400 grit.
I've got a rotary platen as well.
Oh, there you go.
You
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
talked me into it. Remember, you said get the
Yeah.
rotary
Because
platen.
every time you put a anything like a 220 on up on
Belt
that
bump.
hard platen,
Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
oh
How
yeah,
much is
and
one of
it'll
them
Oh,
rotary platinums? I need one.
Yeah.
yeah.
eat up your belt like in no time.
Yeah,
Like
but you had told me to get that rotary platen, and that makes all the difference in
yeah.
the world on that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Um,
On your finer grits. Yep.
Joey, you are getting so dang good.
He
I'm
is.
going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what I screen captured one of your knives here this past week, because I'm going to make my version of it, and I won't tell you which one it is because when I make it, you'll be like, "I thought he said he's going to make one of my knives." but I was so impressed with what knife have you got in your hands? You've been holding up tonight. Is that the one with the kind of the cream color?
Yeah, it's the paper micarta. Of
No,
course you.
that's not the one, but
It's
it's
the
a
pink
similar
handle.
stuff. Yeah,
It's
They
the
got a
yeah.
pink
It's the
handle
whole.
on it.
It's
yeah,
the whole pink knife. It's the
yeah.
pink knife. Yep.
Every bit of that knife. How do you
Pink
get that
knife.
pink? But
Yeah, I mean,
so I did copy one of your knives this week because I'm gonna grab the profile of it and make something similar. Not to be one of my knives per se, but I was so impressed with it, the beauty of it. It had kind of a cream color in the handle, um,
mm-hmm.
and it was
Vintage.
so yeah, and it had flat sides, and
Yeah,
you had the
Oh yeah,
faceted handles.
yeah.
It,
That's this one.
okay,
You
it's
can't
hard to tell in
Mhm.
pink,
you can't
yeah,
but
tell,
not
but
pink.
you can
okay,
see.
that's the knife. Yes, it is. So
Yeah.
while I may not copy it exactly, I wanted to make one for my brother, and I thought that was the most beautiful knife. And if I can make it look 80% as nice as yours,
Well,
I'll be
guess
happy.
what? If you want these scales, go to popssupplies.com and get you a set of buttercream paper micarta scales. That's
Yeah.
where they come from. Yep.
All right. All right. That's nice. That's nice. Um, well, what have you been working on to push your limits?
So, kind of like Otis here and Eric, I started forging. So I'm forging some integral chef knives. That's what I've been grinding on all day. Um, I ground 4 of them. I
It's not
haven't
expired.
showed, huh?
Was that a fart? Somebody farted on the
Yeah, was that
microphone.
a fart or somebody's belly?
I don't know. I didn't hear it. Um,
All right.
but yeah,
Eric, was that you? He had his camera
No.
turned off. You
Eric
didn't.
looked like about to fall asleep.
There you
I,
go. That's a
all right.
8-hour round trip he had to drive today.
Yeah, no, he's
Mhm.
probably tired.
Mhm.
All
I'm
Um,
not
right.
that tired, but I am ready to. No, I'm ready to get a snack.
Hey, eat,
Well,
dude.
go grab you one real quick. We're good. We'll sit here for you.
yeah,
So go ahead, Joey.
yeah. So I, like Otis here and Eric, forging some integral chefs that I haven't showed yet. I've been kind of keeping them close, just so I can kind of get a wow factor maybe
So
after I
the
show them.
Shagman's out there copying your design. So now that you know that, you're gonna have to keep them close to your chest. So
But
yeah,
so
you've
I've
made
been
some
pushing
beautiful.
myself, and I've been I've been making dies for my press, so I can all the tooling that I need to do them to make it a lot easier. But they're all hammer shaped by the hammer, so
Mhm.
just drawing and spreading the material. I use my press because
Maybe
it's just so
maybe
much easier.
maybe we'll do a culinary knife show next time. But what's the perfect thickness for a culinary blade? I know they come in thickness, but what would you say would be the one that's most popular?
Like an
If you,
ideal,
yeah,
I'd
yeah,
say somewhere between right at an eighth, about an eighth inch. Of course, I use 332nd stock when I do stock removal,
right.
which is um, I'm not gonna say it on the show, but it's a pain to grind because I do
Hmm.
no plunge lines,
Yeah.
and
Are you just blending your
yeah,
lines with the
Yeah.
I
with the
I
handle?
do. Y'all ever follow that guy on YouTube, Mike?
I've seen a
Ecom
couple of
Knives.
YouTube channels where he was showing
Ecom
how to blend the
Oh,
plunge
yeah.
lines
Ecom Knives.
Oh,
into
yeah.
the handle. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
Ecom. Yep.
He
Mm-hmm.
he he doesn't do any more videos. He just kind of disappeared. But he
So blend
I
from the
kind of
handle in.
Yep.
yeah I kind of do
Yeah.
my grinds like he does on his chef knives, and on that thin stock, it's a pain, man, because you're constant. That's why I bought me those. I don't know if y'all. Well, Eric saw them
It's easy
on
to
that
overheat as well, right?
on on that call the other day when I had those spectacles
Oh
on.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Science classes.
yep. Because I'm constantly making sure that I'm not that edge. I'll scribe a 15 thousandths edge, two lines, 15 thousandths on that 100,000 stock, and then I'll grind to those lines. And then as I'm grinding the blade, I constantly check to make sure where I'm at and to see where exactly I need to remove more material as I'm grinding.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I need to work on the tip more. So I'll sit there and work on the tip, and then I'll look
Well,
at it. I need a blend here, and then you just constantly chasing it. And then once you get to a point where you're comfortable, then you can go up in a grit. Jump from say you're at a 80, jump to a 120, and then start making full passes on it where you're blending everything back in
Mm-hmm.
together,
Yep.
Yeah.
and then
wow.
jump into your higher grits, and get everything nice and flat, and then go to a good old disc grinder, which I got now,
Uh-oh.
and
Watch out.
yeah, watch out. Go to that disc grinder and put it on the flat, and get that side of that chef knife perfectly flat the whole way. You start blending in with the finer grits, and
What
Yeah,
grit
that
do
that
you
way,
disc
use?
grinder is a must, right?
yeah, for the
It's
chef
a
knife,
must.
yeah, for
You
the
you don't
chef
want
knife,
any divots on the side of your blade. You gotta
yep.
have that disc grinder.
Yeah,
It's a
and I
must.
tell you what, it's coming in handy with those integrals
Yep.
too,
Yeah.
because it's getting those sides flat, and then once you get to that waterfall attachment you have,
Yeah.
I'm really thinking about buying the Ameribraid one.
Yep.
Ameribraid
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
Yep,
one.
they do.
Um, so, but that's kind of what I've been pushing myself with, Chip. Uh, Forging these blades out. Um, you know, just trying to better myself at forging, and Really enjoying making these integrals. I know I haven't showed no one yet, but maybe I'll give y'all some sneak peeks
We're looking
of what
forward to
I've been
seeing them,
doing.
man.
Yeah,
Looking forward.
please do.
Hey, Jason Fry has called in from the road, and he's got a Templar's tip for us. So, Jason, what do you have to say? Jason, are you there? There you go.
Jason Fry here. This week's tip has to do with pictures. It comes out of my book, Knife Making Hacks. My buddy Jim Cooper let me use about 100 of his pictures for that book. So if you purchase that book, you get my best guess of what the best knives in the world look like. But this is tip number 73. At some level, you don't sell knives, you sell pictures of knives. Online customers will decide to send you their hard earned money not on your knife itself, but on the pictures you provide of your work. If your pictures don't compellingly represent your knife, you won't make many sales. Jim Cooper is famous for saying that good pictures don't cost, they pay. And of course, they do cost, but there's a little bit of truth in that. At the end of the day, we make the knife as pretty as we can and we polish it up and clean it up nice. And if you take your nice, clean, well polished, perfectly fit and finished piece and you snap an ugly phone picture of it and it's the picture doesn't represent the knife, you're going to have a hard time selling your wonderful piece because your picture is lousy. So two pieces of advice here. One, learn to take a good quality
Yeah.
picture with your phone. That is mostly about lighting and picture composition. So, for one, you don't want any reflections or bright spots or dark spots on your knife when it comes to the lighting. So, you want to shoot in diffuse light, so either cloudy or in front of a window, but not in the sunlight itself. I've taken a lot of pictures in the shade of my house, right? So on the shady side, but in the bright part of the day. So the light is good and diffuse and flat. The other thing to think about is composition. So when you take a picture of a knife, put the knife in the middle and let the knife be the star of the picture, right? So if your background is too busy or too cluttered or too bright or too ugly, right? It takes away from the knife itself, right? You don't want the background to be distracting. You want the knife to be the star of the picture and you want it to be centered in the picture. Whether you go tip up or tip down or shoot horizontal or vertical is largely academic, but try to get the light good and get the composition right if you're going to use one of today's modern cell phone cameras to take a good picture. I don't want to quit this section without talking about the value of professional photographs. So, just like some of us are professional or semi pro knife makers, there are guys whose whole entire day job, their whole livelihood, their whole skill advancement is in taking pictures. And if I need a great picture, I'm going to let one of those guys take it for me. No, I'm going to pay one of those guys to take it for me because I'm buying their skill set, just like your customers are buying yours when they buy your knife. One of the things you buy from a professional photographer is the picture, but the other thing you buy is their exposure and their network. Here's what I mean. I write occasionally for Blade Magazine, and I have a relationship with several photographers that give me access to their portfolio. So if I need a picture of a purple knife, I can browse through, somebody's website, professional photographer's website, and find the purple one and ask them for that file, and I can publish that photo. Also, what you pay for is that those photographers send their new work to the Knife Magazine editors. So Steve Shackelford at Blade Magazine will occasionally get an email from Jim Cooper or somebody saying, "Hey, these are the ones I shot this week." And so they'll look at those pictures and they'll say, "Oh man, I like that purple one. Let me send that out to Fry and he can write an article," right? So getting your work in front of those editors is a critical function of the professional photographer, right? And their network is better than ours. It's better than mine. So you pay for the picture and you pay for the direct line to writers and editors. And then you also kind of add some value for your customer, right? It's cool. The guy that bought your knife can say, "Man, this one was in Blade Magazine. This one was in Knives Illustrated. This one was in Knife Magazine, that large format one is right on the cover, right? So using a professional photographer puts your knife in places that it wouldn't be without that professional photograph. So that's my tip for today. Use a pro photographer if you have a knife that's worth a pro picture, and take a good picture in the meantime, because you sell pictures of knives. You don't just sell knives. For more tips like this, check out my book, Knife Making Hacks, available at my website,
And
frycustomknives.com.
Jason, don't forget to let people know that in addition to frycustomknives.com, they can also find the book on Amazon. But if they get it from you through your website, you will autograph it as well. So, hey, good luck hunting as you're headed off this weekend. And thank you for getting with us on that. What do you guys think? That's pretty good.
It's
Pretty
funny
good, isn't it?
Jason said that. I'm actually doing that with this the knife that I won this category with. So it's
Sending it off
Yep.
for a photograph.
yeah, it's pretty cool that Jason that was his tip this week.
Yeah, you forgot to tell us you were a major award winner.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got 2 of them, didn't you?
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I got best fixed blade and best stock removal from the Louisiana Knife Show 2023, and I wasn't even paying attention when they called my name, because honestly, I didn't expect to win. But
I can't believe that, but that's fine. That's humble.
yeah, actually, Chris Jones had to holler at me. I was at Terry Dunn's table looking at, you know me, Don. I was looking at wood.
Oh yeah.
I was looking at wood blocks, like, let's see where's my next victim. I was thinking of my next build. So I was like, oh yeah, ooh, this is gonna look good on this. And then I hear Chris hollering, Joey, and I'm looking and I'm like, what? He's like, they called your name. I was like, for what? He's like, oh look, they just called it again. He's like, you won. He's like, go up there, man. I was like, I won what? It never dawned on me, because I wasn't thinking that I would, I'd actually win. But
well, you had some
Did you
stiff
submit them?
competition there.
So at the, like pretty much at any show at like Texas Belleville, Texas Forged in Fire, the one in Conroe, Louisiana Knife Show, the Lost Pines Show in Bastrop, Texas. All these shows have different categories: best kitchen knife, best culinary knife, best stock removal knife, best fixed blade, best folder, best of the rest was one category, which it didn't necessarily have to be a knife, but it could be any kind of edged weapon. And then they had best of show, and so you can, if you want to submit into one of those categories, you build a knife around the parameters that they submit for you to submit a knife into that category. Like I know for like Louisiana, they're real big on, you can't use any Pakistani Damascus. You can't just go buy a blank and put handles on it and submit it. It has to be made by you at 100%.
Right.
And so there's all these categories, and if you plan on submitting a knife to be judged, you when you get there in the morning, you go and you put them, the knives you want to put into those categories, and then you're judged on by all your peers. The other, I think we had 84 other knife makers that were there that day, and so everybody votes on what knife they think that's in that category, which one's the best knife on the table.
That's cool.
And yeah,
we were excited to see you win like that, because it just gives credibility to watch you growing as a knife maker. But you were talking about the Pakistan steel. I went to a fall festival in our town this past Saturday, and there was a knife maker, or excuse me, a knife booth set up there. I told my wife next year I've got to get a dozen knives made and pay for a table and go sit in this outdoor event. But with that being said, every one of the fancy knives and the ones that the guys were going crazy over were all Damascus, and in the top in the spine they all said Pakistan was etched into them.
Oh
And
man.
all of these guys
Yeah.
were going just, and I was glad to see that because it at least identified them. Hey, listen, we understand the steel and everything in Pakistan. Those guys are still some great knife makers with some of the stuff they make. They just have inferior materials, and they try to sell
Yeah.
it as good materials. But the point is that all of these guys were going crazy over those knives, and I walk up and I'm looking at them because I want to see what they have to offer. And
especially
I
for
was
the
just,
price.
what's that?
Especially for the price, because they're selling a whole set of culinary knives for about $150.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I know. And that if you were gonna, I'm sorry, Chip. I
no,
just
you're
wanted to
fine.
say
You're
this.
fine.
If Otis here would have went off on his rant tonight, I had a rant to go off on too because
Please do. I yield the floor.
so
I second. I second.
Well,
so
before we this rant is brought to you by tr-maker.com. TR Maker offers some of the most innovative products out there, from file guides to grinding machine parts to some of the most well thought out innovative tools on the market. If you want to ensure that you've got something that's engineered properly, go to tr-maker.com. Now,
Joey, go.
eating nails and crapping barbed wire with Joey
Joey Dario.
Terrio.
okay, so every now and then you get these customers that they'll send you pictures of these sets of knives, these Pakistan knives.
From Etsy.
Yep. And they're like, man, check this out. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And they're like, man, it's like $150. I'm like, yeah, for a reason. You know, it's junk steel. Pablo's bumper could be in there. You don't know. You know, you just don't know where they're sourcing the material from.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, what? Why would you sell your set for such and such price? I was like, because number one, I'm sourcing good steel. It's made in America, and you're paying for my time. You want me to build a 5-6 piece set, kitchen set. It's going to cost. It's not going to cost $150. And my rant is for those customers is if you're not willing to pay the asking price of any maker's price, then why are you looking at custom knives? Like if you're not willing to pay those prices, and I'm saying that on a broader stage because like not just with kitchen knives, it could be hunting knives, any knife. You get these guys, these people, and they look at these knives and they're like, man, I just never pay $400 for a knife, or I just never pay. But you always see them at the show, and you always see them they're always talking about custom
Yep.
knives. It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
if you're not willing to do that, then why are you looking at custom knives? Because the knives that you're gonna get at Walmart are most of the time production knives, and they're production knives, and they're made over and over and over again, and they're made out of the Chinese version of 440C or whatever. Go ahead, Eric.
So I'm definitely going to add into this because there's a lot of things that people don't think about whenever it comes into custom knife makers. And I know that not everybody's at a particular point within their knife making, but again, you're talking about whether you're going to use superior steel or the crappy steel that they use. A lot of customers don't understand that certain steels can only achieve certain hardnesses.
Right.
So if you're buying a chef's knife, you're looking for something that's harder. You're looking for
Mm-hmm.
something that's going to be in that mid 60s,
Yeah,
65
because you want the edge
HRC.
you want the edge
Correct.
retention. Yep.
Correct. And that steel that they're using might only achieve a maximum of 57 or 58 hardness. So it will never hold the same edge. It will always need to be honed. It will always need to be sharpened. that'll always need to be worked on. So even though it might come sharp and it might look cool and it might have a random American flag or something like that in the handle scales, as a lot of them do, um, you will it'll never achieve the same hardness. So it's not that you're just paying for that crappy steel or that superior steel. You're also paying for the right heat treat process. You're paying for the right ergonomics. You're paying for all those
Right.
things that real knife makers put into their craft to make sure you achieve the right knife for the right process.
Yep. Well said.
Well said. Well said. Yep.
Otis
Otis
here.
here, you wanted some? You had you.
You had
Yeah,
jazz
so
hands. He had jazz
so
hands.
I was at a gun show here in Virginia about a month and a half ago, and those knives are there for sale everywhere, right? That's how I've been looking at the prices and stuff. And there was this guy just looking at them, and the way he was speaking as if he was a connoisseur of Damascus and custom knives and things of that sort, right? But the thing is, when you grab one of those knives in your hand and you rub your fingers on the blade, you can feel all kinds of unevenness in between the steel, and it's kind of rough. And I picked up even a brand new quote unquote knife, and I'm looking at it, and it has all kinds of warps in it. So, I mean, I don't know. People will try to cheap you out, right? And that is one of the things that we're always going to have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
But I was talking to a customer the other day in the mechanic shop, and one of them knows that I make knives, and he mentioned it to the other guy. And I told him, listen, man, what you're buying at a store is like mass production. Just like
Mm-hmm.
Eric said, or Joey said, there's millions of them, same knife made. What
Mm-hmm.
I'm making and selling it to you at a premium is one of a kind, is a fingerprint. Got my time, got my sweat, oftentimes got my blood going
And
into
from when
the
Eric said
making of that
it's
knife,
got your
right?
pint. No. It's got your
Yeah,
pinto
Pinto.
sauce on it.
Got
It's
my
got your
pinto sauce
sauce.
on it,
It
got my
does. It
pinto
does.
sauce all over it, right? So,
Every knife he
you're
makes
buying
has his
one,
pinto sauce.
you're buying one that is never going to be replicated,
That's
right? So
right.
it's one of a kind. It's never going to happen
One off.
again.
Yep.
He gets that stuff all over everything.
There
He
you go.
does.
Get that
Works
shit on
great.
everything.
But yeah, and I look, I get it, and people can look at what they want to look at, but it's just, um, I don't know. I was just ranting about it because there's just
How
certain
many?
people you get people that message you like all the time, like asking you what's the price on this, what's
Yes.
the price on and it's and then you'll hear them say man, I'll just never then that's why I said why are you looking at custom knives then, but I get it, people can look at what they want and um
Yeah, you
it
just
that
say
that
this is not for you. Hey,
yeah. And look, I'm my I've grown on this topic. I'd like to think thanks to my mentor
Chip Carlisle.
uh, Jason no, Jason Tippy. He's helped me along and understand that look, um this is what your work is worth, and you just have to find your clientele. There's a you find your market,
Yep.
find your niche, find your clientele, and if that's your price, that's your price. And if they don't like it, they can just go somewhere else. So
I'm going to edit
and
out his name just so you know it will come off as Chip Carlisle being your mentor on the show, but I'll leave all the rest of what you said in. So.
The joys of being the editor.
There is a website. I was talking to a couple of guys in the shop the other day, and why your knives are just
LazyKnifemaker.com.
yeah,
LazyKnifemaker.com.
basically, why you asking this much for your knife? I mean, it's just just a knife, just a piece of steel, And I told him, listen, man, my knives are this price right now because I am unknown. Once I am known and I have a name, it's gonna shoot way up. You know, there is this little website I'm actually looking at right now. It's called Arizona Custom Knives. Just open that
Arizona,
page,
yeah.
Arizona Custom Knives. You're gonna
Yep.
see
Yeah,
prices that is unbelievable. Okay,
my mentor has some knives on there. Yep.
you know
I wish
it.
they'd bring all their knives to Blade Show so I could spit on them.
All right.
So when I showed that guy some knives there that are selling for $2,000 or $3,000 at that website, and I showed him what I have, and mine are comparable to it, I said, "Okay, do you still think my knives are expensive?" I mean,
For sure.
it's not
Yeah, for sure.
expensive. I am unknown. That's the difference.
That's
And,
it.
and for anybody that's listened to the show any period of time, they know that I like to spit on well-known makers' knives by accident.
Yes,
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
we,
Exactly,
you got to
Kyle
write a
Royer
letter of
knives.
apology to Mr. Kyle
Do-
Royer there.
Yeah.
Does it one time. Got to do it
Only
all the
Master
time.
Smiths. You only
Man,
spit on
I
Master
would
Smith
just,
knives.
I wish I would have been there that time because I just wanted to see Kyle's face. Like,
his face. He didn't. He
because y'all
didn't.
said he was so nonchalant. He was
Oh
like,
yeah,
"Look,
I was
I'm gonna do
there.
it.
It was
I saw
already
Look,
him.
it
look.
was already
This is
sold.
this is Kyle. This is Kyle. Uh huh. Mm-hmm. Yep."
Yeah, and I was nice enough to say I'm so sorry, and he was like nah, and then the legend was born, knife spitter. With that being said, let's just throw in here, guys. If you haven't, Oleg is dropping some great wood these days. I'm seeing posts all over the internet and his website. So go out and check out knife-wood.com and check out
That is not
Oleg.
working. That's not working right now.
No, it's not.
Knife-wood.com is out of service for the moment. You gotta contact him straight through Facebook Messenger.
Very
Yeah.
good. Well, thank you for letting us know that. When it does come back up again, you can hit it at knife-wood.com if this is listened to a little bit down the road. But in the meantime, you can see Oleg Bashkovitz Knife Wood over on his Facebook page, Knife Wood. Is it Knife-Wood on Facebook? Or is it just on Oleg's Facebook
I,
page?
I I think you can search for Oleg.
Yeah.
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 Well, anyway, just to keep it moving along, Oleg
Or
Bashkovitz.
he makes drops on the TRE, huh, Eric?
He
Yep.
does. He
Yes, he
does.
Good stuff.
does.
So
Yep.
OlegBashkevich. You'll find him on Facebook, and he's dropping blocks all the time. And you can contact him directly through Messenger and get a hold of some of his products. Additionally, you've heard us use
Knife
the
wood.
Knife wood. Okay, thank you. Additionally, you've heard us use the term Ameribraid several times tonight. And Ameribraid makes great grinders and accessories. So go out and check out some of Kevin and Eric's work at Ameribraid.com. They'll service all of your knife making needs when it comes to grinding a good edge, a good pattern, a good profile, and whatever else you want to do on it. I know that Eric, do you use your grinder for your cars when you work on them at times?
Oh yeah, I absolutely do.
Yeah, and I know you don't own an Ameribraid at this time, but hey guys, if you do any other type of work where you need a good grinder, go out and check out Ameribraid.com. That brings us to the hour and 53-minute mark, guys.
Wow.
I know it goes by quickly. Let's talk about something real quick here. What makes a good hunting knife?
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh man, we're gonna get into the pie now.
Oh my.
Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
Because everybody makes
For
something.
me,
Well, let me just
yeah,
say, everybody
I'm
makes a
just-
knife. Everybody makes a knife, and they say it's a skinning knife, it's a hunting knife,
Yep.
and they look all different sizes and shapes. So we've got some hunters on this board. What makes a good hunting knife?
So for me personally, this is just what I prefer, and you can obviously see it in my work. I like the classic clip point hunter. I like a clip point hunter. That's just me. And I like it to have a hollow grind, which I grind them on the 36-inch radius platen. Yep. You got a good bit of meat behind that edge. nice hardened steel, good steel, 52100, or ABL stainless, whatever.
Yeah, just 1 second
So,
though. Don, would you hold up your knife? And what was that noise you make when you hold up your knife again? Okay, just so everybody knows it.
so,
Don has Tourette's. But anyway, Joey, go ahead and finish.
so yeah, for me, these clip point hunters I make, that's 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 my style. That's what I like for a hunting knife. So, and I like a little bit of a recurve in them.
hmm
Style while you're cutting.
And why do you like
Yep.
it though? What does it enable you to do when you're? And
Well,
we'll talk. I guess we'll.
it's got that belly in it right there. So when I'm skinning, I'll grab the blade like this, and I'll poke a hole in the hide and grab it with my finger
Mhm.
and pull tension on it, and then I'll slice away the hide from the meat as
Yeah, you
I'm
really don't
cutting.
want anything that is too pointy,
Yep.
right?
So
So
it's
it's
got
gotta
a
have a
belly.
little bit of a belly.
Yep. So it's got a belly. I don't have an edge on it yet, but it's got a belly. It's got a little belly right here. So I'll poke a hole in the hide, pull, and then I'll pass it along the
Mm-hmm.
hide in the
Yeah.
meat, and just
Yeah.
keep. As I go down, I'll poke another hole, keep pulling, and keep skinning.
Gut
For me,
hooks. Gut hooks.
Yep.
Good, bad, overrated.
uh,
Do you need
to
them?
me, a good hook is useless.
Yes,
It's just mine.
I
Useless.
second it.
Yep.
I didn't. I
They're
didn't. I've made a couple, and I don't like them. I just don't like making them, but I don't see a big
Yep.
need for them.
There's nothing. There's nothing that for me to process an animal. There's nothing that a good hook can't do that the edge on the knife
Yes.
can't do.
Mm-hmm.
With your finger just up underneath the
Yeah,
point. Yeah.
just yep. I mean,
Yeah,
Otis here,
same.
Otis here, you're going to say the Harbor Freight Rambo knife, right?
nope.
Yeah,
Got a
that one works great.
It's
anus
got a
knife.
clip point.
Yeah.
the,
Well,
the anus
I'm
knife.
gonna. I was gonna
the
say,
anus knife.
the typical look of a hunting knife, such as the buck knives, right? Those are what
Clip point.
most of us got into hunting with, and didn't make knives had available to us. So that's what comes up as an image of a hunting knife. But in reality, for me, hunting knife is the knife that you're gonna take with you when you're hunting. It doesn't matter the overall shape or profile, right? I have a couple of drop points that I made. I have some clip points. You know, small, large. It personal preference. A lot of people like that old what you call it, the little crooked finger or whatever, the little
Oh, the
skinnier
sharp
Sharp finger.
finger. The
Right.
sharp
sharp.
finger.
Straight.
There you go.
Straight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
The
sharp
little
finger.
sharp finger, right?
Yep.
Is a
Yep.
really long belly, really pointy
Trailing
with
point.
the
Yep.
yep,
Yep.
Yep.
and it got that big clip on it, right?
Yep.
For the size of the knife, is just basically a shank, right?
Yep.
But it
Yep.
works great for what it is,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So I mean, it's the perfect hunting knife would be the one that you're most comfortable working with, and you can get the best results with skinning, quartering, doing all your work in the field.
Yeah, when you're quartering up an animal, to me, that's where that recurve in that blade comes in handy. When
Mm-hmm.
you're cutting around there, and you're getting down to those joints, and you can get in between them with the
Yeah.
blade, and I mean, it just poof. You done, by the time you're done, you got the animal all quartered up and in the ice
Like,
chest.
yeah, again, personal preference. I like
Yeah.
a narrower, longer blade like this, the one I'm working on right now.
Yep.
Get in between the joints, and then you'll pop them out, and
Yep. I tell
especially
you,
the femur joint where it attaches to the hip bone, where
yep.
you're gonna pull all that meat out of that
Yep.
section there.
Yep.
Yep. I
I
scraped that bone with a narrow knife. The one that I used a lot lately. Well, not a lot. I mean, I only had it since last year, but that lion killer works great to pop them joints. It goes right in. It's very skinny.
it's skin and it's
Yep.
thin and
It goes right in that joint. Scrape that bone. Pop all the meat out. Good to go.
How do you guys know I'm talking about deer?
Yeah, I like that.
Maybe I was talking about tuna. What makes it?
your,
What
your
makes it
big
great?
old big
You
old tuna
hunt
knife.
tuna? You hunt
Uh,
Is
well,
that the Bowie karambit?
yeah, I'll show you. So I've got a few that are. So whenever I first started doing it before I made knives, my main knife that I took everywhere for
That's
doing
an Essie.
everything.
Oh, it's
That's
an
an Essie,
Essie.
So
right?
it's Ontario's version of it. So this is a Rat 3. So it's a little bit, it's same profile as an Essie. I just like this particular
Yeah.
steel and coating a little bit better than the Essies.
What is that?
And
D2?
yes,
Yeah.
and really, really, really like that because it does have that belly in it. But
Yep.
I've used this for everything. It's not a thick blade; it's a thin blade, and I've batoned this through wood and all kinds of stuff. But this was what I carried. It's got my Carta scales, not
Yep.
like a wood or something like that. That's what I carried with me the longest time for doing anything, hunting, camping, all that. But I've made two of these without all the flair, without all the extra prettiness,
Mm-hmm.
and they work real, real, real well for
That's
pretty
that
much everything.
classic clip point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can really grip whatever you're going to do. This is not coming, it's never going to come out of your hand. For whatever you're going to end up doing, it's not going to come out of
Man,
your hand.
seeing
You can
Eric twirl
literally
that thing just makes me want to make one now.
And
it just
and I'm making that one right now. And Don, I'll be using your pecan.
Oh,
Go ahead,
okay.
help me,
Good,
guys.
good.
oh yeah.
The pecan.
Who?
The
What are we going to say?
pecan.
Pecan.
See,
Pecan.
I just know that now I don't say anything right, but I'll be making that one with the hole through the blade. And Joey, I thank you for encouraging me to go out and buy a larger carbide hole cutter to do that.
Yeah,
It made all the difference in the world.
when you posted that video and I was watching your finger going there, I was like, man, he's
Somebody's going to
have
be at the
trouble.
emergency room trying to get that knife off
Yeah,
their finger. Um,
yeah.
but along the same lines, Eric, I know you pulled up another knife. I want to let Don know I'm using that piece of wood, but
Oh yeah.
that makes a lot of difference. I love the way it controls. But this one spins in the middle where yours is on the end. I actually like that. I may try that sometime as well. You had another
Yeah.
knife you were holding up.
So this one right here was one that I've made a couple of too. It's got a very thin edge, very, very thin edge. But that, if I'm grabbing it, imagine the old school tools like the Ulus and stuff like that. With this, I go middle finger in the actual main finger choil,
That's how I
and you
skin.
can literally wrap your fingers right around this plunge, and you can pull and do everything that you're going to do, and you're only using this area here for everything,
You're
but
And your
choking.
it
hand, your
just
hands, your
it
hands
just
protected
works.
real well. Yeah.
And you're
Yeah,
choking the
and
knife while you're skinning. I don't do that.
yes,
Yeah,
Thank
that's
well,
how
God.
I
well,
skin.
you
I've always skinned like that.
yeah, you can because of how much blade. I mean, you've got 4 inches
Yeah.
of blade in front of your fingers there, and you got your whole cutting edge. So if you were to scrape hide, if you were going to do any of that, you have that blade that they would have used a long time ago to do everything that they were going to do,
Yeah, it
and
gives you a lot more
I like
control.
it.
So the
Yeah.
bottom line to as far as hunting knife design, I guess hunting knife is just a general term. You just got
Yeah.
to find a maker who makes a knife that fits your hand, your style, and your type of hunting that
Yes,
you
sir.
do. There you go.
I
Yep.
Like
agree with that 100%.
like Otis here said, it's a
Yeah.
knife you take in the woods that you're comfortable with.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
well, guys, we've hit
100%.
2 hours, and with 2 hours, I do want to say this one thing. Any questions, comments, product reviews, show or guest ideas, let us know. Subscribe and email us at the Knives Templars at yahoo.com or DM us on Facebook at the Knives Templar Podcast Group. Visit us at knivestemplars.com to stay up to date. Our episodes are sponsored by The Rivers Experience, housemade.us, TR-Maker, knife-wood.com, Ameribraid. Go out and check out a Majestic Forge at majesticforge.com. Byford's Guns in Hartselle, Alabama, Pop's Knife Supplies. And if you haven't joined Mark on a swim up to Maritime Knife Supply, you can always get there by maritimenifesupply.com. And Phoenix Abrasives and our Templars 10 discounts for 10% off your order. You can find us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Anchor, Amazon Castbox, and soon to be Rumble. Rumble, rumble, rumble. We'll be out there pretty
Rumble,
soon.
rumble, rumble.
Hey, any list of resources, suggested materials, social media handles. Excuse me, let me start that over. Any list of resources, suggested materials, and social media handles. Your number one resource is the Knives Templars podcast on Facebook and at knivestemplars.com. You'll also see this motley crew hanging out on not TR, the Rivers. Help me out here. TR, what's your Facebook
TRE
page?
Workshop.
TRE Workshop.
TRE Workshop.
We got two TRs now. My brain went into shutdown. TRE Workshop on Facebook, and that's the Rivers Experience Workshop on Facebook. So TR Workshop, and find us all posting and join in on the fun in posting there. Guys, I mentioned send in any questions or comments. We'd love to get your questions in for a future show at knivestemplars@yahoo.com. And with that being said, guys, what do you like to say at this time of the evening?
Have a great week.
Hasta la vista.
Yeah.
Au revoir.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Boa noite.
Oinky, oinky, oinky.
That's right.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Brought to you by Porkhouse Productions. Oinky, oinky, oinky.
All right, the pig has squealed. Otis here, little post show.
Hey Chip, I forgot to bring up, when Don was showing, when you were talking all about your radius platen that you got,
Yes, sir.
which is great. I remember that Kyle Daly, right? He has that 3D printed sanding buddy
Yep.
that is in a 36 radius that you
Exactly.
can kind of get right in there without having to kind of use your thumbs and everything else to in there. So
Yes.
give him a call out that whatever radius you have, I think he has a
He got
a
it.
diameter for that.
He does. He got every one of them.
He's the man. He
And
is the
And they're
man.
awesome.
Yep.
I've got 3 of them, 3 different sizes, and
Mhm.
I like the heck
Yeah.
out of them, man.
Yeah.
Eric,
I tell
how's
you
your?
what,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I tell you what, Kyle, he's got a pretty vast selection of micarta too.
Yeah.
That dude's got some
Oh,
micarta.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. He
He's
definitely
becoming
does.
the Elvis Presley of knife making. That's for sure. Pretty cool guy. Hey, Eric, how's your live show going?
It's going good. I was gonna do one yesterday, but it was going to end up being too late, so I'm just going to do one on Saturday, and we're going to.
What time?
I might do 2. So I'm going to do one at 11, Texas time, of course, and I'm going to be talking, and we're probably going to go ahead and grind the bevels into that integral, and
Cool.
go ahead and do that because I'm going to do them a little bit different than people have typically seen me do them because we're going to grind them, and the blade's going to be about like that on the belt
Yep.
the whole entire way, and we're going to have a good sweep and plunge go up into here, and it's going to be cool. But
That's how I normally grind my chef knives.
yeah,
At that angle to get that no plunge.
yeah, my Gaiutos and ones like that are done that way.
So you said you're going to be doing a podcast of sorts. What you got going on?
So it's going to be more of like a live stream thing, but y'all are going to have an awesome background whenever I'm doing this with the podcast because the 12 by 12 is getting converted to that. So of course we're sheetrocking everything, and I'm going to have all of my main builds, the big the Darth Maul dagger, my Hail bat, like a bunch of the builds that people love, my insanity builds, all that stuff's going to be on the wall in a cool display behind me, and so I'll have that, and I'm gonna have my desk out there and everything, and I'll be doing the podcast with y'all out there as well. And whenever I'm doing my podcast, it's gonna be slightly different. So whenever you have people who typically do podcasts, of course we sit down, hang out, talk, do stuff like that. Mine will be this, but whenever I'm hitting on someone asking a question or something like that, so let's say someone asks a question about your bevels, and they do the whole sending a comment, hey, what would you suggest for this? I'm going to actually be able to get up, walk through my double doors that I'm putting from the 12 by 12 into the other shop, and I'll be able to actually show what I'm talking about in the podcast.
Will you be able to use? Will you have like multiple cameras, or will you be carrying a body cam of some
So
sorts? Or
at first, I'll be bringing it with me because I'm going to have my camera set up to where all I have to do is magnet my camera off and magnet up to the thing that I'm going to be talking about that day.
Mhm.
And so all I got to
Smart.
do is take it
Very
with
smart.
me, move it
What
over, have it set up, do my
what,
thing, and then go back into the office.
what kind of camera do you have, Eric? Like a GoPro or something?
I've got a Sony ZV-1 for my main podcasting camera. It's nice and light. It's got a really good product focus, which is really
Yeah.
good whenever you're thinking about like doing stuff that I do where I have to do this a lot.
Right.
It actually defocuses my face, focuses on the product, and then goes back to my face in milliseconds.
Did you say Sony ZV-1?
ZV-1. And then for the live streams, I actually use my phone. So your phone cameras are awesome for that, and I'll be having it set up. But eventually, yes, there will be multiple cameras, but you need a person who can work a switchboard because they need to be able to. Uh, if you're gonna do it live, you need somebody who can switch the camera for you. Um, if you're doing it post production, I can edit it however I want. But for the live streams, you need somebody who can go, okay, we're switching to that camera and that mic,
yeah. Hey,
and
listen,
then
for
do it.
the when you're using your phone, just you might consider moment lenses. I think it's might be momentlenses.com or moment.com. You can just look up moment lenses, and they sell a large variety of lenses. I use they're about $130 a lens, but the
Mhm.
telephoto or the excuse me, not telephoto, the wide angle would be perfect in your shot because
Yep.
it would open it up without distorting it, and people would be able to see a wider angle that you can actually probably even move around
Yeah.
more or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I wish that I didn't have to use the damn portrait mode because in order to live stream, you can't go horizontal, you can't go landscape,
Mm.
you have to go portrait,
Yeah. That's right.
and that part's
So,
annoying.
so that's where
Uh,
that wide angle really opens it up.
and I have them. I have the
Oh, okay.
I've got a whole set of the different
Yeah, but
lenses
I
that
have
Oh,
actually
but yeah,
seen
put all that
I
I've
hear
info
what
seen
you're
on it.
some
saying.
live streams where it's
Yeah,
landscape format.
yeah. I wish you
Probably not
could.
on not on the
It
not
won't
on
let you.
Facebook. Yeah.
So if you do it on YouTube, I would be live streaming like this the entire time because it's built for phones, so it
Yeah.
automatically turns you this way. So no matter what, if I went if I went the landscape, I'd be like this, just floating.
Yeah, but what if you
Uh,
were live streaming from a laptop or something like that? Would it still be the same thing, or
so
would
the
it be
downside is the
landscape?
refresh rate. Refresh rate on a laptop is so much lower. See how gritty y'all can be
Hmm.
at
Yeah.
times
Yep.
because your refresh rate is so slow. On
Mm.
a phone, it's built for it. A phone is
Yes.
literally almost, I'd say probably 75% of the podcasts that y'all see, and almost, I'd say probably 50% of the YouTube videos that you watch, and 75% of the podcasts are all done on cell phones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you
They're
think
all
it?
Apple
They're
phones.
yeah. They're probably like what 120 hertz, 240 hertz
Oh yeah, 240.
somewhere.
They're
Yeah.
super high. They're not. It's not like a laptop or a computer.
Computer.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, and so people use their phones for that because of how fast that refresh rate is. And the phones nowadays can handle low light real well. Computer cameras cannot handle low light that well. Um, and I could
Gotta
stream
get
with
me a
my
new
Sony
phone.
ZV-1. I can actually stream with that, but it gets kind of in this weird area. Whenever you're using the cell phone, you pull up your YouTube app All you got to do is hit the plus sign and go live. I don't
Yeah.
have to do anything. I don't have to
Huh.
switch between things. All I got to do is hit the little plus sign that I want to add something on there, a post, a go live, a video, whatever. And then I hit go live, put in my title, do my thumbnail. It lets you shoot a thumbnail instantly. Or I can have one preloaded that Nisha will put in whenever I start filming the live. She'll go in and she'll choose my thumbnail that she made or something like that. And then I'm good to go. I do my thing. But the point behind the lives is they need to be as simplistic as possible. You don't want a whole bunch of crazy stuff because everything could go wrong in a live and there's no editing it out.
Yeah.
You're just there. You screw something up, you smack yourself in the face with some steel. However many people
You're like,
watching you,
that
they
just
saw it.
happened. That just happened.
Yeah. So
Talking about your
exactly.
live, talking about your live, you said you were going to talk to us about a little itty bitty joke I made on one of your lives, remember? About the pinholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. You were talking about pins and handles. Yeah.
Sounds like
Oh yeah.
sounds like dad jokes to me.
No, I mean I said we all like tight holes for our pins.
We all like
Hey,
tight holes
hey,
for our
hey,
pins.
hey, hey, hey.
I'm talking
But
about pins for the handles.
Hey, let me tell you this.
Yeah, of
Y'all have
course. What you thought he was talking about,
well, I
Chip?
know
Hey,
what he was talking about.
Chip went
Y'all
the other way.
do y'all seen I've been doing all these reels lately and being silly. But I did one today and it came out so cool because if you go out and check it out right now, it's Don't Fear the Reaper.
Yeah,
And
it came out perfectly at the end.
of it, when I'm hitting the anvil, it's like cowbell almost. It's like ding,
Yep.
ding,
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 ding.
ding,
Yeah,
I'm
ding.
like,
it matched. It was even with the rhythm of the music. It was.
almost. It was a tad off, but
Yep.
it's
Yeah,
close
well
enough that
played.
I've had a lot of people call me and
Well,
say or text me and go, "Dude, that's so cool."
don't they have a cowbell in that song?
They do,
And
but the ringing
yeah.
of the anvil was just like ding, 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 and it just lined up beautifully. So, rather be
Love
lucky
that.
than good. Rather be lucky than good.
But
Anybody doing anything fun this week? I'm driving to Texas on Monday.
Oh,
I'll be in Texas on Monday.
There
No,
you go.
no, I'm just working on, of course, the D guard project. I was gonna bring some of the pieces in here. I've got the little medallions all hammer finished and cut out. All I got to do is do the little design stuff that I'm doing on the outside of them, and
Yeah.
then I've got the D guard in the vinegar soaking and getting the forge scale off of it. I've had it in there since last night, and
How long does that take to get that forged sail to come off in vinegar?
depends.
And you
Just
do
depends.
that before or after heat treat? That's a very important question. I called you this week. You ignore my call. I was going to ask you that. I
Oh,
mean, when do you
wow.
Oh,
Eric,
oh,
Eric,
when do you
ruined my
do
image
the
of you, buddy.
vinegar?
we'll have to
When do
get
you do the
Jason the
do
vinegar?
butt
it
Before or
down,
after
butt
heat
down
treat?
again.
do it after the heat treat.
Yeah.
Do it
So is
after the heat treat before the hand sand.
oil after the quench? You have some oil residue. Do you soapy water wash that thing?
I would clean the oil off, but the vinegar is going to take all that off too.
But you're going to temper it and then you vinegar it.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
You want to do your full heat treat process. And then the reason why I say do it afterwards is because you're going to build up some forge scale on the area. Yours not so much because you do tend to quench your whole entire blade, but if you're just quenching like the blade itself, your tang area is going to have forge scale still on it. So you're going to just clean it off and then put
What
that
does
whole
it
entire
what
bad
does
boy
it
in there.
what does it do to the steel overall, the acid in the vinegar?
So
Just
it
darkens it?
is gonna it's gonna etch it a little bit. It is gonna darken it, but it's gonna make it more of a gray tone. It's not gonna
Yep.
blacken it. Uh, and you do need to be careful. If you leave a nice hand sanded blade in there for like a day and a half, it will pit it. It will
Okay.
eat that smoothness away, and you'll end up with a almost like a sandblasted media blasted
You hit
finish
finishing, yeah.
Like if you leave
on it.
8670 and ferric chloride for 15 minutes, you'll start getting something.
I know 80 CRV2 does bad. Like
Yeah.
it's bad.
Oh yeah.
Vinegar.
So
Yeah.
this is mild steel that I forged that D guard out of, and I've had it in there for a day.
So
And
how long would you keep a hardened knife in there for? A day or hours or?
so if the forge scale's thick, I'd leave it in there for about 10 hours and then scrub it, clean it, and then go back into it for about another 3-4 hours and then scrub it, clean it. All your forge scale should be off by then. But first, about 10 hours. You'll be fine.
Gotcha.
Especially on
What's the vinegar
5160.
doing? It's eating away at the forge scales, or it's just loosening
Yeah.
it?
Oh yeah, it's eating away at it and it's getting up underneath it and letting it pop up. So it's eating that barrier in between the forge scale and the blade itself.
The hardened
Yeah.
steel.
So it either pops free or you scrub it off.
Yeah, and because it'll just flake right off there. So when you first pull the blade out, it's going to be black, and once you just even if you just rub your finger across it, all that black goes away, and you're left with the color of the steel. But I just get a little scrubber, a little plastic scrubber, scrub it, and then get it clean, and then go back in.
The knives that you made for Mark and I, you gave us at Blade Show, did those go in vinegar?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That gives us a good reference
Yep.
point of what it
This
looks like.
this one right here, I'll end up vinegar soaking it, and it will look a little bit different. But mainly, what's going to look different is the
Where
handle.
it's all dark. Yeah.
Yeah, but the quench process will typically blow off most of your forge scale. But whenever you have like those little spots, especially like this whole handle was not quenched, so there's forge scale all over it. It'll eat through all
What
of
is
that.
that? A full integral handle?
Yeah, that's a fully the whole handle is forged
That thing
and
looks
profiled.
awesome.
Yeah,
it is beautiful.
You ever you follow David Leash on Instagram? Yeah, he does a bunch of chefs like that.
You made a comment about quenching my entire blade, and I've actually kind of quit doing that. I'm hitting the blade and I'm leaving it just the cutting edge for 3 or 4 seconds, and then I drop the rest of the knife into it. What am I doing right or wrong?
That's a differential harden. It is.
Okay. What do you do? Do you just drop the cutting edge in and never douse the whole blade, or dunk the whole blade, or what are you doing?
It depends.
Okay,
It depends on the process, especially if you're using the old pinto sauce. If you're gonna use that pinto sauce, you're gonna dip the whole entire thing.
you got to dip the whole blade. I got some. I was lucky enough to get some. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this quenching Hofto K quench. It's a fast quench.
Yeah,
and
like a 50 or faster.
It's like a 50. It's like Parks 50.
Yeah. I looked at a lot of people quenching their blades, and they're just going all the way in, and it still has a lot of flare ups. I don't know what kind of oils they're using.
They're
But
probably using
hot oil.
I don't get those flare ups on pinto sauce, man.
They're probably using hot tongs too, because I've noticed a lot of people their tongs are in the fire.
Yeah, I can tell you what J.W. Randall told me is when you quench, you go from the oven or the forge, go straight to the quench, put the whole blade in, and once all the bubbles go away, you pull the blade out.
Pull it out.
You don't have to keep it in there, like some of these guys. You see them in there shaking it, and you just stick it in there. You let the bubbles go away. You can shake it a little bit, agitate it, and then pull it out. And then you can go in between 2 aluminum plates to keep it straight, or
it's always good to shake it a little bit before you pull it out.
Okay, Otis, you get a 3-show suspension.
Talking about the knife, man.
So anyway, hey, let's not forget to mention housemade.us, Brian Houseworth over there. I forgot to mention that tonight. Make some beautiful products. You can get a hold of that Apollo Forge. And you can also get a hold of his 2x72 grinder. You can buy the parts, you can get the plans and cut them out, or Joey, go ahead. Am I doing an advertisement here?
Can I be the one that names the show?
Yes, but can I go ahead and finish the advertisement, man?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go to housemade.us. Thank you very much. All right, go ahead, Joey.
Well, you didn't have to call on me in the middle. You could. I would have stood here like this. I just want to know if I could name the show.
I would love for you to.
Okay, I'm calling it. It's always good just to shake it a little.
All right, so the next show we will have Eric, Mark, Don, and Chip on, and Joey will be on the show silently in the corner, and Otis here will go to bed early and not be able to listen to the show at all. So no. All right, just shake it a little bit.
Just shake it a little bit.
It's always good just to shake it a little bit.
You want me? Can I tell you a story along those? This is probably something that will make you guys laugh, and you know that I have no shame, right? Hey, y'all have a good time and check us out on the next episode of the Knives Templars, and check us out at knivestemplars.com.
Catch you later, alligator.
All right, have a great one.
Have a great week. Be safe, Chip.
See you guys. Bye,
Thank
guys.
y'all.
See y'all.